Well, a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Data Sim live stream. Today is the 17th of February 2021, 3 minutes past 4 in the evening in the United Kingdom. For the second ever time in the Flight Data Sim history, we are taking out the excellent Colimata Concorde. Our first stream, which I've actually pinned to this video description, which was our 50,000, 60,000 sub special. I haven't flown it since then, 4 months ago. Was the last time we streamed this aircraft. I updated it a couple of days ago. Did a test sector yesterday. It was appalling. Completely forgot everything about what I was doing. I then did a second sector this morning, a little bit better, and now third time. Hopefully we'll all come together for a lovely, enjoyable flight. Today we're exactly where we left the last Colimata live stream from London Heathrow to John F. Kennedy. Starting off exactly where we left it then. This time we're going all the way over to Barbados. Now this sector is actually done by a US airline. I think it's Air Blue they're called. The flight time they do John F. Kennedy to Barbados is around 4 hours 20 minutes. On the test sectors we did 2 hours, so it will be a very, very quick flight, hopefully 2 hours. As soon as we're airborne we're going to be doing 3-1 left, the very famous Canarsie Climb departure. I'm going to try and replicate as soon as we're over the sea, up to flight level 280, and then we're going to go supersonic pretty much immediately, up to Mach 2, between 50 and 60,000 feet. It's going to be very, very exciting. Sorry, not Air Blue, Jet Blue. I don't know my US airlines that very well. Captain CJ, how's it going? Flight Data Sim, very well, thank you. Hope you're doing well. Ollie Blocks Gamer, almost at 70k. Yes, this might be the stream at which we reach 70k. I think we've only just passed 69,900. I think it was like 69,920 or something like that, but you never know. Almost there, and we'll be doing a charity special for that in the next few weeks as soon as we reach 70,000 as well. I hope you're doing very well. AV as well, he says Concorde time. D Aviation, hello Captain, this is going to be interesting, certainly is going to be interesting. Marion is around us, Flight Data Sim Gaming as well, making sure you're all behaving as well. Domino Mocina, hello Captain, hello Mariana, hello Jack, hello Jim, and hello everyone. Thank you very much. Yes, won't talk to the Discord members about what happened on the test sector yesterday. I might have forgotten to lower the landing gear on the approach there, but I'll try my best not to repeat that today. It'll be great if we don't do that, so I'll be very, very embarrassed. But yeah, it was the first time I've flown it. It was in a long time, and I completely forgot to lower the landing gear. It was very, very difficult. Anyway, we're on VATSIM. It's been all updated, doesn't seem to be any problems here, and we have another Concorde next to us, which is pretty cool. It'd be nice if someone joins on the sector here. There doesn't seem to be any ATC online at the moment. If they do come online, especially Oceanic Control, I'm going to try and work out how to do Oceanic ETAs using INS whilst we're accelerating, decelerating. It could be very fun indeed. Anyway, here she is with the lovely livery by Jordan, one of our members. Thank you again, Jordan, for taking the time to make this livery a few months back as well. So yeah, we're all pre-fueled. I've done the pre-fueling the passengers as well. We're going to step through everything quite precisely with regards to how much fuel I'm taking, because we have to take quite a lot less than full tanks, because you're quite limited by the maximum landing weight of this of Concorde, so you have to be very careful with that. But we'll take our time to make sure everything's correct. But yes, I've not done anything apart from load up the aircraft cold and dark and put the lovely 2D models around it for a bit of realism. Anyway, let's jump on into the cockpit here. As I said, completely cold and dark. I'm just going to change my volumes here slightly, turn the music down a little bit in the background as well. So there's no X checklist, unfortunately. I'm going to step through the checklist again, which has been, I think it was Jordan that made this as well. It's a little Concorde checklist modified and improved to basically show you which panel to look at. Now, I've done the setup a couple of times now in practice. I'm again slowly familiarising myself with where certain switches are, but obviously Concorde, it's a 3-crew aircraft. You need an engineer, a first officer, and a captain here. The engineering panel is reasonably well modelled, but they do have an engineer here for you to help manipulate the switches, especially when it comes to moving the fuel around to keep the CG within limits at different phases of flight. So you just have to configure certain switches for departure, and then once you're en route, you pretty much leave it. Just a few switches to flick here, which is really useful. And then obviously, as PF, I'm having to do everything here on VATSIM, so yes, it'll be quite interesting. David Tribble, how long is the flight? It'll be around 2 hours or so. The first test sector I did yesterday was 2 hours 5. Today it was 2 hours 15. I was a little bit later going supersonic today though, but yeah, less than 2.5 hours for sure. Listen to it, let's hope your flight engineer isn't called Jim. Yes, Jim is both flight engineer and first officer. He does all the jobs on the side. Right, so Well, imagine we've done the safety inspection, the walk around, made sure some of those switches are in the essential position now. Turn that music off. We'll then check the technical log. We'll get the ground power on, but that's not modelled. However, I have noticed since they've updated it, there is a ground power available light here, but the switch doesn't actually do anything when you turn it on. Main batteries can come on now, so it's the... No, it's not these switches, is it? I can't even remember now. Not the best of start. Was it those ones? Or was it down here? That's it. There we are. Battery on, battery on. So as soon as you power up the aircraft, it starts cycling through all these kind of tests of all the instruments. You can see, look, it's going absolutely berserk. And all these lights turn on the engineer's panel. I'd like to pretend I know what I'm doing, but I really don't have much of a clue. Listen, this starts off well. It took me a while there. Oh dear. But that's all connected. Batteries are on. Equipment bay cooling panel, that's on the engineer's panel. That's here. Put those all on. Keep all the instruments nice and cool. Oxygen panel set, that's by the engineer's feet. Again, there's a little guard there, which is emergency passenger emergency manual override. I haven't switched anything on testing, so it's worked fine. Drain mast heaters on, that's on the overhead panel. 1, 2, 3, and INS 1, 2, and 3 to align. So I do have the Seaver INS, which does cause some little stuttering, but I have a little fix for that, which I'm going to try en route today. So we need to get the INS all lined up, ready to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to the Seaver INS. And even though it's an independent plug-in, you still have to move the 3 INSs on the engineer's panel to make sure you can align properly. So you have INS 2 to standby, standby, standby. And here's the Seaver INS to standby. There we are. So all I'm going to do at this stage is update our present position, and then we'll move the switch to align. So here we are in KJFK, John F. Kennedy. We're on Terminal 1, Stand 7, and there's another chart which shows you all the coordinates, the parking gate coordinates. So there you are, Terminal 1, Stand 7, so we just need to tell the INS our position. So we're at North 40, 38, 5, insert, and it's West 73, 47, 6, 7, 3, 47, 6, 073, 47, 6, insert. So we've told the INS where we are. I'm now going to rotate that to a line so it can start its alignment. And secondly, go over here to this INS and put this to a line as well. 1, 2, and 3. And that will take 8-9 minutes or so. And then when we get up to it, we're going to start programming all the waypoints here into the INS as well. Nora says turn the volume up. It sounds okay to me, buddy. Remember, the engines aren't running or anything like that. You should be able to hear the air conditioning in the background, which I've just turned up slightly. But it looks like Listerman can hear everything well, which is good. Perfect. That's the INS position update coming into a line. Air data computers to on. 1, 2. Emergency equipment's checked. No smoking sign on. And fasten seatbelt sign on. We'll put the nav lights on as well. Perfect. Now, before I crack on with the before engine start here, I'm going to show you the flight plan. Now, unfortunately, SimBrief doesn't have a profile for Concorde, so what I've done is generate a flight plan in SimBrief using just the 737. Updated the true airspeed and the cruise altitude. You can see it's 60,000 feet. And the Concorde, Colimata Concorde, comes with quite a nice little fuel planner. So if you go here to the GUI, go to its aircraft, not aircraft fuel, sorry, it's flight preparation fuel manager. Here you go. So you just essentially tell you the range of this flight. So this the range of this flight is, I think it's 1900 miles. So all I put here is the amount of distance we're doing plus 300 nautical miles, just for a little bit of extra fuel, and this actually works quite nicely. So you have each phase of flight, 30 minutes for taxi, 50 minutes climbing to flight level 280. Majority of the fuel burns here, looking supersonic flight, 27 tons. And this is actually quite close with the weather we have forecast here, and that ensures that we kind of arrive with around 20-ish tons of fuel, which is enough to just put us below maximum landing weight, but also to allow us to hold for about 25 minutes and fly a missed approach if we go around. There really isn't that much room for manoeuvre with regards to taking extra fuel in Concorde as well. So that's all set here. Oh, fly traps. Do you have a sim brief profile for Concorde I could share? That would be pretty useful. But to be fair, I quite like using the fuel planner here. So for this sector, I've taken 68 tons, and at full capacity it could take 90 tons. The aircraft, or a little bit under 95, so around, what's that, 2/3 full for this flight, and that should be sufficient. I've already preloaded the aircraft. We've got 99 passengers, no cargo, so imagine we're just taking in carry-on bags today for this service, so that's all set. Perfect. Norscon, turn the sound up. Are you just, yeah, I think the sound's fine. Thanks, Lee Bridges. I believe my member's a little bit more at league with regards to how the sound is. Right, let's carry on with the rest of this checklist. So, master CBs, that's all these switches here. We'll turn those on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect, they're all on. Cockpit preparations complete then. Oxygen's checked 100%, not modelled. Windows are closed. Flight control inverter switches to on. So I'll just close the guards here to make sure they stay on. Flight control augmentation systems all blue, so blue, blue, blue. And anti-stall system to on. We've got the radio or INS switch to radio, so we're going to be using radio initially for departure on the Kennedy 5 Canarsie Climb departure, so radio will switch over to INS later. And next we have instrument transfer switch set, so we've got them all powered off. Air data computer 1, altimeter's checked and set, so just double check. There's no ATC here at the moment, so let me just fire up the METAR for New York John F. Kennedy. So it's quite windy here and it's very cold, so I'm expecting runway 31 left for departure. The surface wind here right now is 330 at 12 knots, pretty much straight down the runway. 10 statute miles scattered at 19,000, -2, and it's 3039 inches. So 3039 at... That's set, and 20 feet for the elevation checks. 3039 at, we'll set on the Jim's altimeter as well, so quite high pressure. Perfect, that's set as well. So our temperature's checked to set audio panel COM1 on, so if we do get any air traffic control, we can turn that on. Unfortunately, I've discovered my Logitech radio tuning panel isn't compatible with Concorde, so you can actually set frequencies, but the transfer switch doesn't work, so you do have to use it all manually, which is a bit of a pain. Orb 505 Gaming, look, legend has it some switches are from an Austin Allegro. Is that actually honest? Probably. Smiley Buff, what's the highest pressure possible? The highest pressure I've ever seen in line operations is above 1040 millibars, but that's quite unusual. Perfect. Todd, you must have had a blooming good eyesight to be able to see those dials back in the day. Yeah, they are pretty small, everything here. Oh, I've just realised something. I have way too much fuel on board. Did I not press 95.2 tons? Yeah, that's way too much. We'll be holding for an hour if we have that much fuel. No, not flight engineer. It's flight preparation, fuel manager. I just didn't press apply. There we are, 67,991. That's better. I now have the right amount of fuel in. Perfect. Where are we up to now then? So altimeter's set, audio panel comm is on, nav radio's set. So we're going to be flying, we'll do the full briefings of course very shortly. But for my nav aids, I'm going to need, for the Kennedy 5, the Canarsie 12-3, which is the very famous departure for Concorde from 3-1 left here in JFK. And then we're going to put JFK 15-9 on Jim's side for the first officer. 15.9, expecting 5,000 feet stop altitude on the SID, so we'll set 5,000 feet here. Now usually I'd set runway QDM here, but what I found for the aid for the departure here, now how do I, there we are, pull it. Instead of setting runway heading, what I'm going to do is just give myself kind of like a heading, so when I engage the autopilot I could just engage heading select essentially. So the runway QDM is 314, but if you have a look at the SID, we're going to be making a left turn as soon as we're airborne and put the gear up towards the Canarsie. We are basically flying along the bay here, so I want to give myself a nice little heading around, what's that, about 180 or so? Just so that means when I engage heading select, I'm roughly going in that heading, so I'm going to fly the departure manually, which is pretty cool. Doug, are we going to do the noise abatement? Yes, we're going to be doing the full Concorde noise abatement departure procedure from 3-1 left here. So essentially, it is full power for departure with afterburners. As soon as you raise the gear, immediate left turn, afterburners pretty much straight away off, and then reduce a bit of thrust to then get up to 250 knots. So yeah, I'll try my best to kind of replicate that. It's very difficult. I've done a couple of practice departures. I've sort of got it roughly correct, but we'll see how we get on. Cool. Anyway, we'll brief at the SIDS, the taxi routing, very shortly. What are we up to now? Nav radios are set. Then brakes are park and checked. So let's just disconnect the brakes briefly here. Oh no, I forgot. Of course, that disconnects the
50,
air bridge.
40. 30,
well, the passengers
20,
are now falling from
10.
the air bridge onto the floor. Part of the checklist, at least. Thanks, Fabio, for the €5.
A tip to fly as faster as possible. Good luck, Captain.
Thank you very much, Fabio, for your advice regarding to fly Concorde. Yes, we're going to, once we do get going, because obviously this aircraft takes some setting up, we will be getting going straight to Mach 2 as soon as we can. Excellent. Right, auto throttle will set to 250 knots as well, and don't worry about the passengers. They can jump, for sure. Right, brakes have been checked then. Nav lights are set to nav, throttle masters to alternate. Again, not sure why, but we'll follow the checklist. Ground hydraulic check out, yellow, yellow, off. That's this switch here, so yellow, yellow, and off. Don't know really what this is about. They have 3 hydraulic systems. I think they're green, yellow, and blue, but it says yellow, yellow, off. Fuel heaters to auto. So that's set. We have engine recirc valves shut. They are all shut. Secondary air doors to auto. And batteries, we know, are already on. Right, now we need to load up the INS. This is the bit where it takes a little bit of time to do. Now, what I'll do is bring up the Navigraph charts just to show you our kind of routing today, which is pretty cool. So here we are, we're in John F. Kennedy. Going to be flying the Canarsie departure via Kennedy 5, and then we'll eventually get routing direct to ship. From ship, we'll be flying southeast to Marrick, leaving New York airspace to enter New York Oceanic, and then from there direct to Bermuda. Now, this is actually based off a real flight plan that Concorde flew from New York to Barbados many, many years ago. We're going to go supersonic over Bermuda. I'm sure they won't mind, and I'll just tell them to make sure that all the windows are closed to minimise the fact that they could get shattered. But right over the top of Bermuda, at Mach 2, and then we're joining an airway via Seva Oceanic, the Lima 576 at 50 to 60,000 feet, all the way to, I think it's pronounced Sitters, I'm not sure, but that's where we're going to initiate our descent. We'll talk about that later. But that's the routing. I'm going to be loading all these waypoints in as INS waypoints. There's 8 in total. So I'll close that here, and what I'll do is bring up the operational flight plan. Here we are. And our first waypoint, I've actually got it printed out in front of me, so what I'm going to be copying, but I'll follow through on the checklist here. So the first waypoint we're going to load up is ship, and let's bring up the INS as well. There we go, and we're still in a line. We've got, yeah, the alignment's nearly complete, so I'm going to go back to waypoint and go to waypoint number 1. So waypoint number 1 is ship. That is north 4019.8. Insert west. That's 7314.8. So 07314.8. Insert. Waypoint number 2 is Marrig. There we are, Marrig, and that is north 3819.7. Insert west. That's 70036. 70036. So 07003.6. Insert. Waypoint number 3 is overhead Bermuda. It's the Bermuda VOR, so we'll use INS throughout the entire oceanic sector. But when we get closer, we'll tune up Bermuda VOR anyway, and we can have a look at how quick we're going with regards to DME. That's going to be awesome. So here comes Bermuda, waypoint number 3. That's going to be north 32.21.9. Insert west 64.41.4, 64.41.4, 064.41.4. Insert waypoint number 4 is Seaver. Seaver is north 29.41.9, 29.41.9. Insert west, and that's 6304.4, 6304.4. So 06304.4. Insert waypoint number 5 is Ricdia, north 21, all the zeros. So 21.00.0. Insert west 06 and 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 060.00.0. Insert waypoint number 6. Just 3 more to load in. 6, 7, and 8, guys. Thank you very much for your patience, but this is what it was like for the Concorde cruise. Waypoint number 6 is the FIR boundary between New York Oceanic and Piaco. I presume that's pronounced. Let's go then. Waypoint number 6. That's north 18. 1, 2, 3. So north 18.00.0. Insert west 059. 1, 2, 3. So 059 00.0. Insert. And ultimate waypoint is going to be Leasad. So north. It's waypoint number 7, isn't it? Yeah, waypoint number 7, Leasad. North 15.38.5. Insert west 58.10.8. 58.10.8. 058 10.8. Insert. Then lastly, it's overhead Barbados. It's the VOR on the airfield, so we'll be switching off INS at that point, but I'll program it anyway just in case we have problems with the VOR. So waypoint number 8 is north 1304.5, 1304.5, 1304.5. Insert, and then it's west 059. 059 290 059 20. Oh no, it's not. It's completely wrong. No, I'm looking at the airport there. That's the one I'm looking at. 059 290 is correct. So insert, and there we are. The INS is loaded in all of them. 8 waypoints. So what I'm going to do is go here. You can press this to speed up the alignment for you. Go over to nav. There we are, the alignment's complete, and then if we go down here and put all these INS waypoints to nav, 1, 2, 3, there we are. So the INS is now all aligned. We can still use the included one here. If you go to distance and time, yeah, 31.1 miles is the distance where we are to Canarsie as the crew flies Canarsie, so that's all looking good. Thanks for your patience there. I hope you're doing well, Pilot Mike, a good friend of mine who's a first officer on the 787, and Lars as well, one of my other moderators helping out as well. Hope you're doing well, and hope you had a great break as well. He's also a first officer. You're well catered for in chat these days. Excellent. No one's screaming in chat you missed something or made a mistake with the waypoint, which is a good sign, so looking all okay. Excellent. Heidi, you love the old school stuff. Yeah, me too. It's very rewarding when you put it all in and actually complete a flight from A to B. So yeah, I love doing all this stuff as well. So INS is loaded. ASI bugs are set. So very much thankfully, I can click that. You get your V speeds, V1, VR, and V2 bugged for you. So 168 for V1, VR. It's around 185, V2 is around 200, but we're going to go straight to 250 knots. Pitch index is set, so it's a little bar you can set. I'm going to put that to around 15 degrees as a kind of approximate target attitude, and then we'll maintain 250 knots there. Clock, it says set to chrono. Unfortunately, I'd love them for the to update it so it models the chronometer, because you can't start it, you can't reset it at the moment. This is just from when X-Plane 11 started, so you can see it's been going, well, it can't be, look, 19 minutes, and the stream's already 27 minutes, so I'm not sure what that timer is. But yeah, it resets at other random points, but we'll make a note of the time when we take off and base all our flight time off that. So that's set, takeoff briefing stated, and start clearance obtained. So, yeah, there's only Newark Tower online here, so what we'll do just before we do this next step is actually brief everything, make sure we're happy with what we'll be doing. So, we'll be pushing back in John F. Kennedy here from Stand 7, Terminal 1 to face kind of south, exit via November. There's a taxiway here or here, and we're going to go on Alpha. And then via Alpha, we're going to taxi all the way to Hull Point 31 left, full length here. So you can see where we are. There's Alpha all the way down. Via Juliet crossing, what is it here? 22 right, there we are. And here's the awesome, very famous departure Concorde used to fly out of John F. Kennedy off 31 left. So it's the Canarsie 5, the Kennedy 5 with the Canarsie Climb transition. So if you look here for 31 left, Canarsie Climb, it says make a climbing left turn direct to the Canarsie VOR. So that's the SID. As soon as we're airborne, if you look at the videos, type in Canarsie Climb Concorde, look at the real takeoff. It's so epic. They literally rotate, take off, raise the gear, and as soon as the gear's up, they're only at about 100 feet, they start a left turn. Left turn right over the bay. I'm just going to be following the bay here, routing direct to the VOR. And then once we're at the VOR, we'll make a left turn outbound 176. So I'm going to tune that radial here. 176. There we are, and that's it. Climb to 5,000 feet, which you'll see here is the SID stop altitude. Maintain 5,000 feet. Expect clearance to an altitude 10 minutes after departure. So for this no ATC, I'll level off at 5,000, and then once we're outbound 176, I'm going to route direct to ship, which is the kind of routing. And in reality, for ship departures, all it says is expect vectors to John F. Kennedy, radial 139. So we've got 15.9, and I'll put 139 on Jim's side. So that's something to follow. But at that point, I'm just going to route direct to ship using INS navigation, which is pretty cool. So that's the SID. I think we're all covered. So let's have a look here with the X checklist. Yes, I can see on VATSIM only Newark Tower online. There doesn't seem to be any sense. But to be fair, what's the time in John F. Kennedy? It was 11:30 in the morning. It's a little bit early for ATC in the United States at the moment, which is a bit of a shame. But I don't mind. We don't have to worry about getting oceanic clearances and things like that. But I have all fully prepared for that eventuality. Cool. So that's all done. Let's carry on with the rest of the checklist. So we've done the takeoff briefing, guys. Start clearance, so imagine we've obtained and got our clearance. So I'm just going to put the squawk to 2,000, and it says test the master, or make sure doors are closed, sorry. So you can see, look, we've got all the doors open, we've got the front left and whatnot. So let's go to that window here, aircraft, doors and ground. So we do need the GPU connected. It should still be, I don't know why it disconnected there. We're going to need air conditioning as well for the engine stocks. There's no APU, and we'll close all the doors. So I think it takes a while when you close them, but there you go. You can see there's the upper cargo door closed, the rear, left, right, and front, left and right. So all doors are now closed. Master warning test. Oh, goodness me, I wonder how many of these we'll hear today. So cool. Oh my days. Yes. Probably going to hear every single one of them at some point. Right, that's all checked anyway. Next we have the anti-collision lights to be turned on. So we'll get better pushback now. We're going to really face, only can really push back in one direction here, so it's going to be something like that and like this. There we go.
Grounded cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you're ready.
And I'll call him now.
Grounded cockpit, toes driving up.
Excellent, so he's driving up. We'll put the anti-collision lights on, so it tells anyone near the aircraft to stay back. It's going to be starting. You have to start engines on stand, 2 engines on stand, and then commence pushback, because there's no way that we can tow with the GPU connected to the external air conditioning card. So verify throttles are idle. There we are. Engine feed pumps all on, which are on the engineer's panel. Oops, I accidentally rotated something there. I hope it wasn't important. Engine feed pumps now on. Just going to double check to make sure we've got enough fuel. Yeah, 67,991 was the amount I needed. Perfect. Better pushback. Voices updated recently, said 2 tons of love. Yes, I have the sound pack, which comes if you type in better pushback sound pack. There's a lot of more added sound packs.
All doors, hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
For different countries, which is pretty cool. Right, so that's all done. And now we're going to start, guys, on stand. Engine number 3 and engine number 2. Now, once both those engines are started, we can commence pushback because we need both the APU and the external AC cart for the first engine start, engine number 3. Once the engine is started, we can disconnect the air conditioning cart. We do a cross-bleed start for engine number 2, and then once both engines are started, we can remove the GPU. So that's how that works. Perfect. Right, so let's now start engine number 3. So air bleed control.
So connected, bypass pin inserted. Release the parking brake.
Stand by, sir. So air bleed control open. Cross bleed 1, 2, 3, and 4 open. And engine 3 starter to open as well. So what I'm going to do is move engine 3 starter here to start. As soon as the N2, which is at the top for some reason, which is 12%, will insert fuel using the high pressure valve here to open, and then we'll jump outside and listen to the sound. So guys, let's do it. Let's start now. Engine number, just double check it's number 3 first, isn't it? Engine number 3, there we are. So start. There we are. N2, we need to wait for 12%. There's 12%. High pressure valve open. Have a listen to this, boys and girls. Right, sounds like that started okay. That is just really, really, really loud. No nose droop. We're going to do that very shortly, Canarsie. Very, very cool. Right, we started engine number 3. Let's carry on with the rest of the checklist here. So 67% N2 confirm. It's stabilised at 67%. Remove the air conditioning. So we need to go up here, GUI, and go to aircraft doors. Air conditioning is now removed. We still have the GPU connected at this stage. Engine 3 condition valve to on. Blue hydraulic pumps on. And we'll close the guard as well. That's done. Electric generator 3 to on. So that's now providing AC power. And air bleed control close. Close and crossfeed is shut, and then repeat for engine number 2. So engine number 2 starter open. There we go, let's do it. Oops. There's 12% N2, and I know you guys want to go outside again. Me too. Audio broke. It makes that lovely whining sound usually. Oh dear. I hope that's the. I hope it doesn't have any more problems with that. But never mind. Right. Anyway, engine number 2 is stable. So we need to now complete the flow here. So it is remove air conditioning. Engine 2 condition valve now. That would be turned to on. And blue we've done. Air bleed control close. And cross bleed close as well, and additionally for number 2, repeat engine number 2, green hydraulic pumps turn on now as well. visor we can move down. So we're going to put it to, I think it's 5 degrees. There we are. Remove GPU. Engine ran out of coal. Saw that. There we are, GPU's disconnected. And now start the pushback, and then we'll start engine 1 and 4. So just double check there's no one online, so we best actually contact Unicom here, 122.8. Radio tuning panel unfortunately isn't compatible, so you have to do it all manually. Let's make sure we're all clear behind. And there's another Concorde, but looks like he hasn't started pushback yet, so we'll release parking brake and we'll start our pushback.
Starting
Missed
pushback.
generator for engine number 2. Just testing you. Just testing you. Oh my days. Well spotted. Thank you. Thank you very much, Rob White. Today's special menu is llama stew. Amazing. Anything else I've forgotten? I think we're okay, but yeah, well spotted for the IDG number 2. Now, interesting thing about Concorde, can I still start engine 4 and 1 whilst pushing back? I don't think there's any reason to not do it, so I'm going to carry on with the rest of the checklist. So engine 1 and 4 is the same, and then we just have to put the yellow hydraulic pumps on afterwards. So I'm going to start engine number 1 first. So let's go over to the engineer's panel and move that switch to start. There's 12% N2 open. Let's try the sounds again. Very nice. So I'm waiting for that to get to 67%. And I've got things digging at me already. There we are. So that's all stabilised at 67%. So the exact order, but I think it was something like condition valve on, and that, and then generators on as well. There we are. So lastly, engine number 4. So I've only got master caution lights associated with engine number 4, which is what we're starting. There's 12%. And last engine.
Operation complete. Set park brake.
Park brake set.
Disconnecting zone. Stand by. And that's 4. Engine starts. Superb. Newark, yeah, so you said about Newark listed, that's a different airport, so unfortunately I won't be able to provide ATC. But we'll get ourselves away. Stow is disconnected, bypass pin's been removed. Hand signal on the left, she's all yours, Captain.
Cheers, thanks, bye-bye. Right, just make sure I've got Unicom tuned up here, I have. Right, let's carry on with the rest of the checklist. So, engine 1 and 4 started, yellow hydraulic pumps can now come on. Actually, hold on, one step at a time here. So, close, on, shut. Yellow hydraulic pumps on, and generator number 4 on. There we are. So we have 4 IDGs, 3 hydraulic systems, air conditioning panels all set, and looking hunky-dory. Right, so after pushback, emergency hydraulic generator, ground bypass. I was doing this earlier, it took me absolutely ages to find that switch. That's in ground bypass. Electric SSB's closed. Shed galleys generator 1, 2, 3 and 4 on. And water heater is on. before taxi then. So engine 1, 2, 3, 4 running. Everything looks stable here. We're burning 1,000 kilos an hour per engine. So just sat here, we're burning 4 tons of fuel an hour. That's twice what the 737 burns in the cruise. It's just such a ridiculously fuel-thirsty aircraft. 4 tons an hour. Just sat here. Flight controls, let's check those. Let's go check for all the joystick, make sure it's all working correctly. So control column, see the elevons moving. There's the indication, so full back, full forward, and full left, and full right. Here comes the rudders. You've got the rudder indicator just here, full right, and full left. So flight controls are working. Engine anti-ice off, not required. Engine control schedule to flyover. I think this lowers the noise for departure, so that's the flyover. And then we have the engine control schedule flyover, and brake fans on. Engine idle switch to low. That's that switch there, low. Engine feed pumps check all on.
50,
They
40,
are all
30,
on. There they are.
20,
Thank you very much, John G, for the $5. It's very kind of you.
Thanks for the hours of entertainment. This is going to be fun. Slightly smiling
A
face.
slightly smiling face. Yes, so I've got to get airborne there. Thank you very much, John G, for your $5. Very, very kind. I hope you'll enjoy this lovely 2-hour Mach 2 blast to Barbados. Very, very kind
Kennedy
of you.
traffic, Colimata Concorde 137, Terminal 1, stand 5, Pushback behind the company Concorde.
That's Freckles, one of the members. I recognise that voice anywhere. Very cool. So where did we get to? Engine, we've done that. Hydraulics checked, so we have all the hydraulic systems on, sufficient quantity, 4,000 PSI, looking okay. Electrics all checked, so we've got all the generators on, everything's in the green, and we're providing electrical power by the looks of it. Perfect. Nose is 5 degrees, trim set for takeoff. Now, I'm not sure about trim. I've done all my takeoffs in the Concorde with it set to default 0, because I set it to where it said pitch trim here. It didn't work, and I have no idea how to work out what it is, but it worked out quite nicely. Perfect. So taxi clearance obtained. Just double check, see if there's any ATIS. Any ATC there isn't. So the management got a clearance. Taxi lights as required. So we'll turn the taxi lights on. There we are. All taxi lights on. Engine rating mode takeoff is set, so that is up here. Takeoff.
50, 40,
Thank
30,
you very much, Dylan
20,
Hutchison, for the £2.
10.
Be right with you, buddy. So auto throttle is on. Auto ignition. Oh, I missed that. Look. Engine rating mode takeoff. Yes. Let's just take our time here. Takeoff. Auto ignition is on. Auto throttle on. Engine flight rating climb. Pressure static heaters are on. ADS engine probe heaters are on. That's here. They are all on. Perfect. Engine 4 N1 takeoff limiter to 88%. So I think for I can't remember the exact reason, but they limit the thrust on engine number 4 for takeoff. I think it's to do with I can't exactly remember, but I remember reading it. I did tell you last stream, and I've forgotten. But I think it's something to do with engine failures or something like that. So they limit the thrust, but that switches there. D-Air tanks 6, 11, 8, 7, 8, 10, 5A on. So those switches, if I remember rightly, is
50,
that one.
40,
Oh my goodness, both
30,
of you. I'll get back to
20,
2 of you. So sorry, guys.
10.
So usually, these kind of workload periods on to get everything there. So on. And on there, the D-Air pumps. Inlet valves are all in auto. They are by default. I haven't touched them, so that's all done. And that's it. Before takeoff, we'll request taxi next. So firstly, Dylan Hutchison, thanks for the £2. Hi, I'm new to this channel. I'm gonna sub now. Thank you. Welcome on board, buddy. And Icry 0002 said 3, 2, 1 now, just as we do in Concorde. We're gonna do exactly the same, guys. Excellent. Thank you so much to both of you. Right, let's go. So release parking brake. I'll better tell Unicom where we're taxiing. Unicom Alpaca Concorde 01 Charlie, taxi hold point 31 left via November Alpha. Perfect. So what we're going to do, guys, is make a right turn here, left there onto Alpha to hold point 31 left. So parking brake release. Are we moving under idle thrust? We are. Let's go to Barbados, ladies and gentlemen. It always does that when you start taxiing in the Colimata. I don't know why. As usual, we've got the
50,
crazy
40,
ground crew
30,
driving all
20,
over the place. Look
10.
at them all. Oh my days. Thanks, Dylan, for the £5 again.
What is the livery on the Concorde you're flying now at?
Oh no, why? Why would you do that? Thank you very much. That's very kind for your donation there. So basically, it's a custom livery. Let me just get going on the Alpha Taxiway here, made by one of the members of the channel, Jordan, who has made it in the Alpaca Airways Flight Data Sim livery. I think he's making a new one I saw on our members Discord as well, which is pretty cool. I'll show it very soon, as soon as we get onto the Alpha Taxiway here, but thank you very much again for your donation. Excellent.
50, 40.
Thanks a lot,
30,
Abby, for the $15.
20,
Very
10.
generous of you. Again, thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Abby. Hello. Thank you very much again for your continued support as a member and another donation. That was very, very kind. Thank you. My oh my. Right, so we're now on the Alpha Taxiway. We're just going to carry on a straight line. Caution crossing the runway here. Make sure there's no one taking off or departing. But we're all looking good here. Right, let's have a look at the livery then. What in the world is that? Is that a C5 Galaxy hovering? Am I going to be going off that sim very soon?
50,
What
40,
is going on here?
30,
There's the Empire State Building in the
20,
background. The new World Trade Center's there as well. Very cool with all that in the background. Oh, Pancake King 78, you've come to my aid again, not only with your MD-80 knowledge, but it's also reminded me, don't forget fuel trim for takeoff. Now, I think the checklist would have covered that.
Fuel trim to takeoff.
But I've definitely got it covered now. Thank you very much, Pancake King 78. Yes, you've got to get the engineer to shift the fuel around to make sure it's in the right position to ensure your centre of gravity is in limits for takeoff. That's very kind of you. Now, even though there's no ATC, I am going to pop the alerts off for departure here, because it requires all of my situational awareness and knowledge to kind of do it safely. But thank you very much for all your generosity. As soon as we're airborne after takeoff checklist is done, I'll pop that back on. There we are. Concorde is a beautiful plane, yeah, absolutely. Let's have another look here. Unfortunately, in the Shift 2 flyby view, you can't actually... Jeez, you can't actually hear it, but... I've just gone to the sea view, but yeah, what a beautiful machine. And I think Colimata obviously the full functionality isn't quite there, but from the flying point of view, I think it nicely replicates the experience. Although I do fear the engines are really overpowered for the takeoff roll. It seems to go so quickly.
Okay, Alpaca Concorde 137, taxiing, holding point runway 31 left via November Alpha Jack.
Cool. Yeah, so dependent on what that C5 Galaxy's doing. If it was anywhere near the runway, I'm afraid we'll be ending our experience on VATS in there. Oh, look, we've got an Airbus A350 there as well. Alpaca Airways, very cool. Right, we'll just slow down a little bit here because there is a runway here, and we're all clear to the left. And Jim says it's all clear to the right, so we'll cross. No ATC at the moment, fortunately. Crossing Juliet will go via Zulu for 3-1 left, full length. Let's have a little look at this checklist then. So before takeoff data is completed, transponder is set. So I'm just going to put on here on and altitude reporting as well. Takeoff clearance obtained. We'll just make sure the final is clear. Landing lights as required. Now, we won't use the landing lights for departure because they're extremely bright. It washes out all the colour. It makes it all white, so I'll just use the taxi lights. Upon entering the runway, we'll set the parking brake. Takeoff monitor will set or turn it on now. Reheat switches are set, so we'll put the reheats on now, which is pretty cool. I've assigned this to my keyboard as well. There we are, reheats already on. And release the parking brake, and that's it. Off we'll go. Make sure you're actually on the taxi line there. Unbelievable. Perfect, so we'll take the third right onto Zulu.
Traffic. 744 shoreline.
And then we're going to do a little before takeoff checklist, my own one from my operator, just to make sure I'm happy with everything here. So configs checked, visors set, air conditioning is all set, because I checked that on the pressurization panel pre-flight as well. The departure then via Zulu, it's going to be the Canarsie... Well, it's going to be the Kennedy 5 via the Canarsie Climb departure. Straight ahead, as soon as you're airborne, gear up, left turn. cancel the afterburners or the reheats, and then we're going to make that right turn inbound to Canarsie VOR. Once we're at the VOR, 176 outbound, eventually intercepting 139 radial, which will self-position towards ship using INS. Stop altitude is 5,000 feet, which is where I'm going to level off, and that's set on the MCP. And that's it. Checklist is complete. All looking good. Pancake King, welcome on board as a member, buddy. I have got the alerts muted, which is why I can't hear it ping up there, but thank you very much. Welcome on board, and we'll get you in the members only Discord ASAP. Guys, are you ready? Let's just make sure no one is on final. 3-1 left. It looks all clear. I can't see anyone, so we'll inform VATSIM that we're taking off 3 on left. Alpaca 01 Charlie's taking off runway 31 left. You guys all ready for this? This is going to be epic. I think I'm ready. I don't think I've forgotten anything. So remember, the nose wheel's considerably behind the aircraft, so you really need to overshoot the taxi line before you turn, so that's probably about where we want to turn there. Have I overshot that? I think I might have overshot that slightly. Not bad. A little bit left of centre line. I'm just going to fix that here now. Excellent. Right, so pointing in the direction, I'm going to set the parking brake. There we are. So parking brake is set. As soon as I release the parking brake, it'll do the timing. So guys, Toga's in chat. Here we are. We're going to do the Canarsie 5 departure. Kennedy 5 Canarsie Climb departure, if I get it actually right then. So remember, as soon as the gear's up, we're going to go straight into that left turn and inbound to the Canarsie VOR. Right, here we go.
3, 2, 1, now.
There we are, full power. Here comes the afterburners in. 1, 2, 3, 4 white lights, and we're on our way.
Airspeed building.
Checked.
100 knots.
Checked.
Power set. V1. Rotate.
Up we go.
V2.
And we're pitching up. Look how quickly it accelerates. And we're airborne.
Positive climb.
Gears coming up.
Gear
Left
coming up.
turn. Following the coastline. And 3, 2, 1. Noise. Afterburners are off. Bit of thrust off. Maintaining 250 knots. She really wants to climb.
Knots.
There we are.
Gear up. Doors locked.
And I'm going to make a left turn. I'm following the RMI here for the orange needle, which is pointing towards Canarsie. I'm just going to pitch to maintain 250 knots here. I'm a little bit fast. And we'll go up to 5,000 feet. It's a very quiet Concorde, but it's really cool. So we'll go wings level in a second. We are going to be flying inbound to the VOR. A little bit fast again, just going to pitch to maintain 250. Get a little bit of automation here to help me out. So we're going to go out acquire, vertical speed, autopilot in, track heading. Just going to overshoot the VOR slightly because I want to intercept this radial here. Auto throttle, IS acquire. So it's going to maintain 250 knots for me. And we're going to climb up at 2,000 feet per minute, just levelling off there slightly. There we are, we're just passing the VOR. And it's going to come online very shortly on the HSI. There it goes. Whoa, left turn. There we are. And 1 to go, 5,000 feet. Now I'm going to imagine we've got continuous climb, so what I'm going to do is set 17,000. We're flying outbound on the 176 radio. Yes, please, engineer. Let's go for flight.
Fuel trim to flight.
So there we are. We're intercepting that radial here. If I bring up the SID, there you go. You can see on the Canarsie Climb, I'm outbound on the 176, going up now to flight level 170. So that's set vertical speed. Go a little bit higher than that now, 4,000 feet per minute. Maintain 250 knots below 100. And that's it. We'll now do the after takeoff checklist. So climb rate's checked. Landing gear is checked. We'll get the visors up as well. Probably going too fast for that. QNH is set, so we've still got the QNH set. Let's go up to flight level 200. That just means I can set standard straight away. So standard is 1013. So at my operator, we set standard as soon as we clear to a flight level. We don't actually wait for the transition altitude, so that'll prevent me having a level bus later on. There we are. Takeoff monitor can come off. Trim for flight. External lights can come off now, even though it's below 10,000. So retract. There we are, and that's it. Noise abatement we've done. Off. Reheats are off, and now we're just going to maintain 250 knots. Climb up to initially here flight level 200. So again, what we're going to do now is imagine we're now cleared off the Canarsie Climb to route direct to ship. Now I know it looks a bit ambitious, that term, but remember this isn't to scale. Ship's more like here. So what I'm going to do now is bring up the INS, which is here, and I press waypoint change 01, and flick over to INS. Engage INS, and the aircraft's going to now make a left turn direct to ship, which is our first program waypoint. What I'll do, I'll bring up Navigraph so you can see. So we're now routing INS direct to the first waypoint here, ship. And we're going to pass 10,000 feet now, so we're going to climb up to 350 knots. We're going to maintain 4,000 feet per minute. And we're going to climb up to flight level 280, which is the point where we're going to level off and initiate our supersonic climb up to cruise climb. Awesome. Who would like to do a little flyby? Let's just lower that vertical speed slightly. Looks we're a little bit ambitious here. There we are. Bye bye New York. The altitude looks really high. We can do plenty of supersonic flybys, don't you worry, ladies and gentlemen. Excellent. A little bit of a nice relaxing music on in the background. When do we hear sonic boom? Says Anthony, as soon as we're going supersonic past Mach 1. You'll get a little sonic boom which plays out quite nicely. Right, we're really struggling. I know why. I forgot to push IS out of wire. I was wondering why it wasn't accelerating to 350 knots. There we go. Lighting on in here. We're going to do some cabin tours later. Got a little Concorde cabin back there, which is pretty cool. We've got 16 miles until we reach the first waypoint via INS. So there's Navigraph. Once we get to ship, we're routing direct to waypoint number 2, which is Marrig here, and that's where we enter oceanic airspace. At some point, as soon as we get to 280, we'll imagine we requested some oceanic clearance and supersonic climb, and we'll climb up to altitude. Now we don't maintain an altitude in the climb. It's like a cruise climb. It basically maintains an altitude between 50 and 60,000 feet, and it'll alter that, basically oscillate to the most efficient speed, but basically it's essentially a continuous climb to that point. Right, there's 350 knots. I'm going to pitch up to around 4,000 feet
30,
per minute.
20,
Maintain that speed.
10.
There's 350, and we've got 10,000 feet to go. Thank you very much, Tal, for your donation. That's very, very kind. Thank you for your continued support. It's always appreciated. I hope you're doing very well, my friend. Cheers. My goodness, a lot of people in this evening. What do we have up there for that takeoff? Had 1,300 people watching for the takeoff. Very cool. Well, the flight time, guys, for us today is going to be around 2 hours to get to Barbados, whereas typically it would usually take 4.5 hours. Bit of engine anti-ice.
20,000 feet.
Going to be straight
50,
above it.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Here we go.
Can you guys hear that helicopter?
50, 40.
Thanks,
30,
Dylan Hutchison, for the £5.
20,
Again, very kind.
10.
Lizzie Windsor, Her Majesty has arrived. Welcome aboard, madam.
Captain, would you mind awfully sending someone back here? Philip won't stop chanting more cheese and wine. One fears he may start using his Extended vocabulary any moment now.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I hope you're enjoying your supersonic service to Barbados, your vacation via New York, even though you live in the UK. But thank you very much. Captain, would you mind awfully sending someone back here? Philip won't stop chanting more cheese and wine. One fears he may start using his extended vocabulary any moment now. Unbelievable. Thank you very much, Madge. That's very, very kind. Right, anyway, out the clouds. Let's turn the engine anti-ice off. I hope you're doing very well, Lizzie Windsor. Cabin's full of corgis, absolutely. Yeah, you're true, Todd. I was thinking that. Yes, Philip's actually gone to hospital, hasn't he? I saw it in the news today. I hope he's actually recovering well. He's actually not gone to hospital. He's on the back of our virtual Concorde. Right, approaching flight level 280. We're going to accelerate to just below Mach 1 now as well. Although that rate of climb to around 2,000 feet per minute. We're now routing direct to Mareg, INS waypoint number 2. Oh, guys, can anyone do me a massive favour and just replay the stream back a little bit, see what the airborne time was? I forgot to take a note of it because you can't set the clock on Concorde, unfortunately, but I'd really like to know what the airborne time was. We'll be going Mach 1 very shortly. So I'm going to get to 0.95. And then we'll imagine we've got our oceanic clearance and our clearance to go supersonic as well. Stephen, let's hope we don't have to hold a door open mid-flight like the DHL flight recently. I saw that. That was crazy. Right, anyway, there we are. Flight level 280. We're doing Mach 0.95. Everything is set up, ready to go for our supersonic climb. So, where's my notes from my previous test flight? I've actually made a note of how the best way of doing this is a sequence. Here we are. So what we're going to do, we're going to engage, the same way I think they did it in Concorde as well, max climb. We'll then disengage Mach hold, or IS hold in this case. We'll then set full power with the afterburners on, and then off we go. We'll be reaching supersonic only about 15-20 seconds after we do this. So we'll put the reheats on. Yes, Mariana? Hello. I'm about to go supersonic. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Do you want to make it? Do you want to be the one that?
I'll hold your wig.
Hold my wig? Unbelievable. Do you want to put the afterburners on? Marianne's going to put the afterburners on. Don't sound too enthusiastic. No, don't touch the joystick.
Can I do it?
Yes, you can. Right. So what we're going to do? Marianne is going to make us go back one, ladies and gentlemen. If you're ready, we're 0.95. So engage max climb. Disengage Mach hold. Leave order throttle engaged. Oh, right, you're going to do this, Mariana. Okay, full power, move that all the way forward. 3, 2, 1, now, that's it, go! And why is it not doing it?
Was that me?
Auto throttle off.
I know why. It went to Mach hold. Do it again. Moving all the forward. Go. That's it! Right, afterburners are in. There's 0.97. 0.98. 0.99. There we are, supersonic. Mach 1 passed. Thanks, Jim.
30,000 feet.
Past 30,000 feet, and we're on our way in our supersonic climb. Very, very cool. I'm going Mach 1 already. Yay! Perfect. There we are. So this initial supersonic climb has got a lot of drag, I think, from Mach 1, I think, till about Mach 1.4, and then actually the drag decreases, and then it goes really quickly above 1.7. But someone told me that it's a little bit overpowered, the engines on this, it's a little bit too quick, but we'll take it.
60 tons.
There we are, 60 tons of fuel remaining. Right now, we are burning 14.2 tons of fuel per hour per engine. Let's put that in perspective. We're burning 56 tons of fuel an hour. That means that this power setting will run out of fuel in just over an hour's time. That is crazy. 56 tons of fuel. Anthony, didn't you hear the sonic boom? You won't hear it inside, however. Wait for it. There you go. That's the sonic boom. Very cool. Greta won't be pleased, not at all, Commander Jennerhofen. And we're making real progress now. You can see our ground speeds on the top here, which is based off the aircraft. Look at accelerating here. It's a little bit slow, so we get through this kind of like... There's an increased amount of drag just above Mach 1, and then, as I mentioned, above 1.5, it just goes
30,
off. Thanks again, Dylan.
20,
However, if you do keep
10.
spamming like that, we won't be playing them anymore because we don't kind of encourage those sort of things there. So I have actually muted, for now, your donation there. But thank you very much for the £5. Not that sort of channel. Funny the first couple of times, but there you go. Thank you nonetheless for your donation. Very, very kind. Captain Adam, what's the sound thing you have in the right-hand corner? That's the B2 volume control.
Mach 1.3. Ramps moving confirmed.
So this is a really neat feature of Concorde, and again, we mentioned it last stream, but I'll repeat it, perhaps if you missed it previously. As you accelerate, the engines, the Olympus engines, they have to, like all kind of jet engines, they have to receive the airflow subsonic. They can't accept airflow coming in at a supersonic speed because it's so fast the engines will surge. So, just like with the real Concorde, what's modelled here is the ramps. So there's a couple of ramps here, an inner ramp and an outer ramp. You'll see this start moving here at 3 degrees. We should go to 4 very shortly. Just keep an eye on it. There you go, 4 degrees. And what they're doing, they're slowly closing to ensure that the airflow entering the engine is subsonic, not going Mach 1.3, the aircraft here. So it creates a little bit of turbulence to slow down the air. And you can see, look, all 4 reheats on. There you go, it's completely automated. Completely automated. Even an engineer doesn't have to work that out. And this was an aircraft that was designed, built in the 50s and 60s, and they had computers already managing that. Absolutely phenomenal. There we are. So we're now really climbing, and our rate of acceleration sped up a little bit as well. Really nice. A sonic boom again. I think we're going to be doing plenty of these. It's pretty cool though. There you go.
I suggest reheat off.
Very well, Jim. So now we're going 0.17. We don't need the additional thrust from the reheats. We'll turn the reheat off. That's going to hugely reduce our fuel flow. We're about pretty much halved it now. Look, there we are. God, look at that. We're climbing at 6,000 feet per minute. That seems a bit excessive. We don't fall out the sky. But essentially, we leave the thrust now and the auto throttle off at full power. We leave it full power right until we descend. Do it again, says Domino Bocino. We'll do it when we get to our kind of cruise climb. When we get to Mach 2, we'll do another one. Sylvian, someone know the max altitude on this flight? Between 50 and 60,000 feet. We don't actually level off. We just kind of do a continuous climb, sometimes descent, to maintain a kind of optimal profile. And it's all automated by the Max Climb, Max Cruise autopilot boats. Guys, if you're enjoying Concorde, don't forget to smash that the thumbs up button as well. It seems very popular today. I might do a few more sectors in Concorde in the near future, especially as it took me 2 days to relearn everything. But yeah, it's a really rewarding aircraft to fly. Obviously, I might try and take it on a busier VATSIM event. Not much ATC, which is a bit of a shame. It's been quite nice to manage the oceanic crossing with the radios and stuff like that. Brett, one of the switches on the left of the airspeed indicator, you can choose. I think it's what the air data computer provides. Where's the information coming from? So you've got attitude, INS, or I'm not sure though, Dev there. Nav, INS, so it's the source of the information basically. Which computer do you want to provide the information to the instruments? Very cool. So you'll see now the rate of climb is really reduced. We're doing 1150 knots over the ground. We're absolutely shifting. Should be kind of touching down in around an hour 35 minutes or so. Not long at all. So there we are. Up ahead we have Marrick. We'll then make a slight right turn towards Bermuda. So what we'll do, we'll tune up the Bermuda VOR. That's something we can actually follow, even though we're going to be going Mach 2. We'll be upsetting a lot of residents here.
Passing Mach 2.
Now we are past Mach 2 already. And it seems very quick. I'm sure it'll be a little bit slower, that process in real life. But we are obviously one thing I need to actually take into account is that we're 30 tons lighter than we would be on a normal supersonic sector. So that might be why we're climbing so fast. But yeah, there we are. Bermuda 13.9. 13.9, that's superb. Anthony, how close to fully functional is this version? I think the version FSX by FS Labs is probably a more complete Concorde. I think this one is... Colimata very active in its development. There's been 3 versions updated since we last flew it. I think it replicates the Concorde experience really nicely. How realistic it is, don't know. But I've heard good things about it, and there's some things. I think the engines I've mentioned in a few forum posts I read are a little bit overpowered, but yeah, it's nice. The buttons I'm pushing apparently are the same ones the Concorde crew would fly, which is pretty cool. Ah yes, we need to do a Mach 2 flyby now, don't we? Here we go. That is progress. I say progress, this aircraft is the best part of, what, 60, 70 years old? It's not actually progress at all. Let's have a look here. If you were actually stood here, if you were in a hot air balloon, this is what it would look like. That's crazy, just imagine that. That's how quick we're going. Very cool. And Vasilis, how much time until touchdown? Around an hour 40 minutes. Tao, got to go. Cheers for the stream. See you on the Discord. Thank you very much, Tao. Appreciate the donation as well. Sweet. Oh, look on Vatson. We've got Freckles behind us trying to catch up. It's another one of the members. And, if we get lucky, maybe some 80s in Barbados. If there's not, we'll be attempting a procedural turn in Barbados, where we're going to fly outbound from the beacon, out on the kind of back course of the localizer, and then a 45 degree 180 degree turn to get back onto the localizer, so it'll be pretty critical. John Padfield, the future is the past, as they say. Absolutely. Aiton, are you using X-Siva or just default Colimata? I'm using the INS Siva, yeah, is it called X-Siva? I can't remember the plugin. So you can see there's a little bit of a stutter caused by that, but it's barely noticeable. I'm quite happy with it. And actually, I found out earlier, you can actually disable it in the plugin admin, and the aircraft will still navigate. So when we get a little bit closer, we'll actually disable it to completely eliminate the stutter, which is pretty cool. Ollie Blocks Gamer News Report, windows in Bermuda have exploded from a virtual Concorde. Now, we don't know who was flying, but they must have been crazy. All residents are very mad at this mysterious man in Concorde. Why? Oh, he retracted the message, though. Ooh, INS having a little bit of a wobbly. Cool. So we're now inbound. Get rid of all the charts here. Inbound to Bermuda. So remember, this flight plan is based on us flying a 737 because the Concorde wasn't there. We should be at Bermuda 1 hour 28 minutes into the flight had we been flying in a 737. I completely forgot. I did ask you guys what was the airborne time. Thanks guys. 16:55 Zulu was the airborne time. So I'm going to make a note of that for the flight time. And we'll see how long it actually takes us to get. It's really cool to compare it to a conventional aircraft. So we should be overhead Bermuda, if we look here on the INS, in 21 minutes. So that's going to be 37, and we took off at 55. So that's going to be 42 minutes from airborne being overhead Bermuda. In a normal aircraft, it would take an hour and 28 minutes. So it just shows you how much faster we're going. Bear in mind, the first kind of 15 minutes was subsonic anyway, so very cool. Oh, Kira, New York Centre literally just logged in as you left their airspace. Yeah, a little bit earlier. I've been planning this stream for the last few days, and Wednesday nights, guys, I can't do later streams because I've got Xbox with some of my friends. There's no way I'm ever giving that up. So the only option was to kind of stream it a little bit earlier, because I haven't streamed publicly since Saturday. Sunday was a members-only group flight. Yeah, check out the last stream we did in the Zebo Mod 737 in Japan. The ATC, guys, was fantastic. If you ever see any ATC in Japan on VATSIM, go check it out. They're really, really good. It's nice to visit some other places. Barry, can you fly in space? I don't think you can in X-Plane 11. I recommend Kerbal Space Program for all your space needs. Very cool. Oh, so I want to do a cabin tour. Right, let's have a look around here. So you can see now it's actually converted to max climb, max cruise, and basically now it won't level off. It'll just maintain an altitude to maintain Mach 2 basically. And if temperature changes or pressure or some other external factor, it actually
40,
can technically descend,
30,
but it will stay at
20,
Mach 2 with full power
10.
set there. Thanks a lot, Jonathan Wiltshire, for the $5.
A down payment on the public liability insurance premium for Barbados residents' windows.
Thank you very much, Jonathan Wiltshire, for your very amusing donation. Thank you very much. It's very, very kind. Very, very funny. Yes, you would not want to be in Barbados right now, but I thought it'd be quite cool to actually fly right over the top of the island supersonic and see if we can actually utilise a bit of VOI navigation there. Very, very cool. Thank you. Oh, you can fly in space in X-Plane. Excuse me, Pancake King 78. You can up to 400,000 feet, I believe. Well, there you go. Very cool. This is actually, look, this is quite a record. We've only been streaming for an hour and 20 minutes. I actually managed to get this set up quite quickly. I think we were pushing back within 35 minutes, which is pretty impressive. I mean, it can take that long when setting up a conventional aircraft, but to be fair, we didn't have VATSIM, we didn't have to delay any delays in pushback taxi, which is what we usually do get delayed with. Deep space, does it make sense to level off and reduce thrust? No, well, a turbofan engine, which an Olympus, well, no, turbojet engine in this case, it's far more efficient to have a higher run at a higher N1. If you actually level off and reduce thrust, it's going to be less efficient. I know that doesn't make much sense, but it's far efficient to actually leave them at full power, don't have constant thrust changes, especially when you're going supersonic. If you were to close the thrust levers now as well, you could really damage the engine. So you imagine those ramps have closed to allow the air to be inserted at a subsonic speed. If you close the thrust, it can really cause issues with the engine. So when you initiate descent, which we'll be doing in around an hour's time, you have to be very slow reducing the thrust. And then let the drag, kind of parasitic drag, slow you down initially. Kick my cat, can you show the view if you press C? Well, if I press C straight away, off we go. But what I do is you go Shift 2, press C straight away, and there you go, it keeps you exactly where you are. But you don't get the sonic boom sound effect, you only get the sonic boom in Shift 2. But this certainly gives you an idea of your speed. If I turn 180... I mean, that is just balmy. Kieran Harvey, when do we retrim? Did I went for flight, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I'm already in flight, thankfully. But the engineer, Jimothy, is moving the fuel around at all times to ensure the CG was within limits, and thank goodness he has to do it, because to add that workload whilst flying a Concorde, a single pilot on, say, VATSIM, that's going to be very difficult. Oh, I'm pretty sure that's not meant to be on flyover anymore either. That's meant to be normal. I think it's not included in any of the checklists, and I think the brake fans can come off as well. Now, how do you find out the skin temperature? Because our skin temperature is going to be over 100 degrees. Remember, Concorde stretched out when you were going supersonic because of the heat of the aircraft. It very famously, you could. I think the last Concorde flight, the captain left his hat there and he got squished in, which is pretty cool. Yeah, really, I'm quite glad that's all working automatically in the background there. Welcome on board, Susie. Glad you're enjoying the content. You'll get invited to our members-only Discord. Enjoy using your custom emojis in chat as well. And if you need to get into our Discord or don't know how to, both to yourself and I think it was... Who was the other member? It was... Pancake King 78. Yes, the members only Discord works with your YouTube membership, and it's automatically generates your invite via the synchronization settings in Discord. Now, to do this, if you go to Google, type in Discord YouTube synchronization, follow those steps, and ensure when you complete the steps of Discord, you're in the web browser version of Discord, not the mobile or desktop app. Otherwise, it won't work. And thank you very much. Welcome aboard to both of you. Gatwick Aviation, usually about 90 degrees Celsius on the skin during cruise. Amazing. Gatwick Spotting has an excellent video on the 747 landing. I think you should go check that out. I'm subscribed to Gatwick Spotting. I like his videos. Forrest, do you have to be with New York Centre on VATSIM? No, because we're in Oceanic now. We've left New York airspace long ago. Let me show you here. So yeah, this is New York's FIR boundary, or UIR. We're now in New York Oceanic. They actually have airways here instead of coordinates, like the middle of the Atlantic here. So we're actually routing on an airway after Bermuda to Lima 576, which is pretty cool. Yeah, we've made some serious progress, guys. Yeah, 1,160 knots. Very cool. Freckles Aviation on the pedestal below the right INS. On the pedestal below the INS. Is it meant to be coming up on here? I don't want to turn these off because they're computers, air data computers. Below the pedestal on the INS. I can't see it. I know there's a gauge somewhere that shows you the skin temperature. Monash, can only talk with paid users, lame. No, you don't need to... I look at all comments, regardless of membership status or not. UW, sorry, did not read the title. Where are you going? Read the title. Barbados, sir. Texture needs to be improved. Yeah, I think it looks okay though. I think it could be a little bit fine-tuned, but if you look at the quality of the gauges, I think it looks pretty nice. Oh, the right INS. That was INS number 3. Oh my days. Is it on here? There's so many INSs. INS number 3. I thought this was INS number 3. INS 3, 2, and this is INS 1, which is... Oh, sorry, Freckles. I see now. Here's the temperature. 121 degrees. Ooh, control the lighting through there as well. There you go. So the outside air temperature is minus 56. So if you were in a hot air balloon outside right now, that's what it'd be outside. The actual temperature due to ram rise and friction of the air is 121 degrees Celsius. Enough to boil water. And I think this is the maximum temperature. And I know the auto throttle on the real Concorde takes this into account, so if the skin temperature gets too hot, it'll actually reduce thrust or change its way it pitches to ensure the skin temperature stays below limits. Sorry, Freckles and Kieran, I misunderstood you there. Freckles, no, on the first officer's side. He's far better job than Jim, thank you. Swifty overslept, have I missed anything? Flight? He said, no, so far. Nice departure. I was very happy with the Canarsie Climb. I think that went quite nicely. And yeah, straight up to 280 into supersonic phase of flight. Really gone well. Kevin Stevenson, what's the fastest shot of... we had like a 160 knot tailwind, and we had a cost index 100 flight plan because we were running late. And yeah, our ground speed was just shy of 600 knots. It was retweeted by Ground Speed Records Twitter account or something, which is pretty cool. And I saw good music on the background. What's the playlist? It's called Royalty Free Music Playlist on Spotify. A chill lounge, copyright free, sorry. There you go, turned up a tiny bit. Modraz, do you generate Ortho 4 XP always when you fly? Yes, I do, but I haven't actually for Bermuda because we were just going so fast over it. But I went for a zoom level 18 tile in Barbados. No Barbados scenery. I did see there was some available, but I was like, well, it's not an airport I'm going to fly into that often, so I didn't get it. So it's just stock scenery. It looks okay, but on the zoom level, on the Ortho 4 XP, it does look quite nice. Zoom level 18. Smiley said it correctly. Ali KT, hi Captain, I have a question that's been bugging me. Are there forbidden call signs? I found a list for call signs in the UK, stuff like, yes, okay, but nothing on ATC guidelines. Yeah, well, it's just a bit of sensible, but you can't use, for example, flight numbers which are involved with aircraft which are involved in serious incidents. And yeah, obviously you're not going to use a call sign which is you know, a rude word or something like that. So it's just, yeah. Is it prohibited? Probably not. But yeah, you just don't. You're not going to use it. To the Sky Studios, will you ever do a shared cockpit with another 7-3 driver and do a sector? I would think it would be cool to see two pilots run checklists. Yes, there's a couple of members. One of them's a moderator as well. He does a lot of shared cockpit flights, and they've been telling me about how recent it is. I haven't really thought about doing it anytime soon, but it's something that I have an idea of doing it at some point. Hey, we're going so fast. X-Plane can't even load in a sea tile. It's either that or the Atlantic is very, very muddy at that point. It's the tile, you can see. It'll generate soon as water. But, yeah, struggling to generate it, going so fast. Cabin tour, please. Yes. Would you like to see the cabin, ladies and gentlemen? Very well. It's the Bermuda Triangle. Possibly. Or one of those warp holes to another dimension. Let's go have a look at the cabin. Here you can hear them eating in... There we are. Oh yeah, this is lovely. I remember reading that last stream, which is really nice. This touch from developer. On July 25th, 2000, a star fell from the sky. Concorde Flight AF 4590 crashed shortly after takeoff. All passengers, crew members, and 4 employees of the hotel that the aircraft crashed in died. We cannot fall deeper than the hands of God for all those that had to leave us far too early. That's a really, really nice touch from the developer. Really nice to remember all those people killed. But yes, here is the cabin. You can see how tiny the windows were. Not the best view, but you can kind of stick your head out a little bit. It's very quiet out here, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing that. But yeah, it has the model tiny windows. Very tiny cockpit. Tiny fuselage. Seating was 2 abreast. That was it. Here's the toilet, which I believe has a flushing toilet, if I remember right. Let's try it. Really? Yeah, it sounds like a tractor or something starting, but there you go. You get a model toilet in Concorde. Here's the rear section of the aircraft. They're all feasting on, what was it someone said? Llama stew. And there you go, the world is disappearing behind us. And you'll notice that the further back we go, all the seats are in front of the engines. You imagine sat next to those with the afterburners going off. So here, right in the back, look. You can see that the engines are still behind. It's got a little rear galley. It's not, yeah, not the most highly detailed cabin, but it's got a cabin, which is pretty cool. And a flushing toilet. Let's jump on in. Superb. Well, would you look at that? Let's have a little look at the map here. So approaching Bermuda. You can see there is the VOR. INS, there is a way of updating the DME. I still haven't learned using the C for INS how to update its accuracy using DME, so you can see we're slightly off the track, but probably less than a couple of statute miles. But once we get to Bermuda, we are right turn outbound towards Seaver, and then another right turn, and then we'll be initiating our descent at this waypoint here in just under an hour, I should say. And there you go. So what we have here is a couple of distances. So you have your distance
50,
here, which is DME
40,
from
30,
the VOR, and this is
20,
INS navigation
10.
distance, which will read 0. Thanks, Jay Waters, for the £10.
Evening, Captain. Loving your streams. I've learnt a lot. The Tokyo Narita ATC was amazing too.
Thank you so much, Jay Waters, for your £10 donation. I hope you're doing very well, and very, very kind. And yes, Jay, the ATC in Japan, for the VATSIM Japan event, was absolutely phenomenal for the members group flight. It won't be long until I hopefully do a public stream in VATSIM Japan again, because it was really quite good, so we'll keep a lookout for some events there. And glad you enjoyed that stream, Jay Waters, and I hope you're enjoying and learning something new in this one. Very cool. Very cool. Oh, it would seem you forgot to turn on the flight directors. Yes, the minor issue. To be fair, the 737, you can use the autopilot with the flight directors on, but it'd be a bit foolish. But there you go, that's actually on now, so I'll give you my target attitude and roll rates. But yes, you can see, look at the distance now, and we're up here at 57,000 feet, so that in nautical miles, you'll see this won't get less than around 9-10 miles, because we fly over it. It's actually what you call the slant range. We talked about it a lot during the streams as well, but this is actually directly over the waypoint, not taking your altitude into account. This is from the VOR, which is obviously based on the ground. So you'll see the distance, this will count to 0, but overhead it'll take your height in nautical miles into account. So we'll say around, what is it, 57,000 feet, it's about 10 nautical miles-ish. Andy M71, I was hoping no one would bring that up. Only Planes, welcome aboard as a member, buddy. Glad you're enjoying the content. You'll get invited to our members only Discord. Enjoy your custom emojis and chat as well. And glad you enjoyed the content. Thank you. Paul Emerson, I had a tour of the Concorde at Manchester. Michael Jackson apparently sat with a blanket over his head the whole flight. Really? Who was on the last flight? I know Jeremy Clarkson was on the last flight. And I know Michael Jackson had travelled, and the Paul McCartney and a few other famous people. It was all about the jet set. I mean, I think when British Airways for a short while realised, I think when Concorde came out, they was losing a lot of money, but then they realised, look, we can charge people 4 or 5 times the amount, they'll still fly, and they had all the most famous people flying. And I know for a short period of time, Concorde was actually very profitable. It was making a lot of money because people were paying, what was it? I don't know what it was for a seat, £7,000-8,000 £, but was it 110 people? I mean, you could do the maths. But its demise was a contribution of several things. You know, 9/11, Air France crash, rising fuel costs. Yeah, I think it'd still. I don't know if it'd still be flying today, but it definitely would have flown for a few more years had it not been those factors taken into account. So approaching the VOR now, 25 miles to go, 22 on the INS range. It's a bit cloudy, so I don't know if we'll be able to see Bermuda. Here's the charts. You can see how fast we're going. So everyone in Bermuda is going to get a rude awakening very shortly. Freckles Aviation, can you do a DME update? I would if I knew how to. I need to actually look into doing that in practice. But it's always, I've always found on every time I've used it, even on long flights, it's accurate within 5-10 nautical miles or so. So yeah, look at the range now. Oh, it's already sequenced the next waypoint. So look, there's DME distance of 10 nautical miles. If we have a look here on the chart, that we're pretty much directly overhead the VOR now, right over top of Bermuda. And look at the range on the DME 9, but it's already sequenced to the next waypoint on INS, so it's not going to go any lower than 9. And unfortunately, it's too cloudy, but Bermuda is directly below us. Can I squint and look down? Too cloudy, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen. Can't see it. But we've woken up everyone in Bermuda. When I say woken up everyone, ruined their lunch. It'll be around lunchtime now. And we're now in the Lima 5762 Siva. We're approaching the halfway point shortly. Bear in mind the first 15 minutes was subsonic, but we are travelling very, very fast. Right, guys, I'm going to have a quick... oh, actually, I'll say thanks to Pancake78 for the $5 just coming in now. Wait for it to ping up, otherwise I'll have a quick 5-minute intermission, stretch my legs. We'll start thinking about the approach into Barbados. David, I remember once seeing the billboard they had up in Times Square with a picture of Concorde on it. It just said London 2 hours 52 minutes, which 40, I think was the record time
30,
in West East. Very
20,
cool.
10.
Thanks a lot, Pancake King 78 for your membership and now a donation.
Fun fact, modern Airbus planes get their yellow, green and blue hydraulic system naming scheme from the Concorde.
Well, there you go, Pancake 78. I always say you learn something new every day, and that's something I've just learned now. That's very fascinating. Well, there you go. I think a lot of those guys probably were involved in the early Airbus developments, but very, very cool. Thank you so much for your donation, and learned something new. Very cool. Kieran, I'm off to bed. Early shift. Have fun. We'll catch up tomorrow. Take care, Kieran. Thanks for popping in, and train safe. Good luck. Right, guys, I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break, stretch my legs, and once we get to the second segment of the flight, we'll have a little bit about the a little chat about the approach into Barbados. I'll see you all in about 5 minutes, guys. Thank you. Thanks for that, guys. We'll refresh for the second half of the stream. Nice little flyby, another supersonic boom. Doing 1,150 knots over the ground, Mach decimal 2. A gentle kind of cruise climb up to 60,000 feet, around 57,900. Making excellent progress. Cool. Guys, really haven't got that much long to go. I mean, just to give you an idea, we took off 50 minutes ago. 50. And look how far we've travelled. I mean, if we'd gone along the coast of the US, we'd be in Miami now. And approaching the next waypoint as well, Seaver, which is only 13 miles away. Going to make a right turn, staying on the Lima 576 airway to our next waypoint, Rictia, and then to I think it's pronounced Sitters, not sure. And this is the point at which we're going to initiate our descent. So, really, when it comes to descent planning in Concorde, you've got to really think ahead, because you're doing twice the speed of sound. Your normal kind of 3 times your height doesn't work until you kind of get down to 30,000 feet. Now, all I read online was a bit of a few tips about how to calculate this for Concorde, but essentially it equates to being around 60,000 feet. You want to be around 200 miles away for your top descent point. Now on the test sector, that's what I did. I worked out how far away 200 miles was from the waypoint. And basically, Sitters, if you look here at the operational flight plan. Jump back into the sim here. There we are. Sitters remaining distance is... Sorry, not Sitters. Get the points right. Yeah, sorry, here, remaining distance here is 339, so a little bit too close. Now, hold on, I've just worked this out wrong. Why does it say something different on my flight plan? Yeah, a little bit too early. Yeah, Leasard, that's it. So Leasard, I got my points correct here. So you'll see here, Leasard, remaining distance is 190 miles away. So when you're about 10 miles away from Leasard, which is just here, that's a good point to initiate descent. So just before we make that right turn to Leasard, we'll start descending. And that should mean, if I plan it correctly, we should arrive over Bridgetown around 5,000 feet. Now, I don't expect any ATC today, so what we're going to be flying is the procedure turn onto the ILS. I'll probably log off if there's absolutely no ATC, because there's no point staying on, but we'll see. If there is ATC, I'll most likely get vectors. If not, we'll do the procedure turn, which will be really quite fun. I've done it a couple of times, works well in the Concorde, but yeah, you can work out our descent point now. I mean, we're inbound to Ricdia. If we have a look here at the INS, I'm going to be there in 20... I've forgotten to put everything up here. There we are, 26 minutes until we get to our next waypoint, which is here, Ricdia. So 26, you can see, probably 35 minutes till top of descent, probably a bit before. And I'm going to be a little bit conservative. I think just before lesson, maybe about 20 miles or so, I'll start our descent into Barbados. And that's why I kind of came a little bit east. As the crow flies, you know, it was a little bit further close to the coastline, but then along the Caribbean. But if you go a little bit further east, I can stay supersonic for longer, which means I can get there quicker, because I shouldn't be really going back to over all these islands. So that's why I went a little bit easterly with the trend today. Cool. Oh, didn't expect it to do that. What was that all about? I don't even know what it is. Oh, be careful, be careful, be careful. My goodness. Nearly selected the reverses there. What's that? Like an ashtray for the big stooges or something? Listen, are those oceanic routes? They are. They're oceanic routes, but they actually have a conventional airway. So, unlike airways where they have just the coordinates, or non-airways, sorry, over kind of like the main oceanic boundaries. This is oceanic. We're in New York Oceanic FIR, but they actually have airways here. So we're on the most easterly airway in New York Oceanic airspace. And they're kind of like, yeah, we just come off the airway there just to get towards here. There we are. Get off the Upper Lima 576 airway just to get towards Barbados. Try and remember where we're flying to. The tiny squeaky, I know, listening. Jason, do you need to realign the INS at all during the flight? No, do not try and align it. If you turn that to align or off, you've lost all your INS navigation in flight. You need to be stationary. You can do DME updates from VOR's DME to update its position if it drifts over time, but I found in long flights it very rarely drifts that much anyway. Certainly enough to be within tolerable limits for old and school navigation. Tobias, did you get any fines for speeding or crashing into cars so far? No, Tobias. Referring to our second channel, Flight Deck Sim Gaming, where I'm not so great at Euro Truck Simulator and have a tendency to crash into other vehicles. Boeing down Road 1, hello, how are you? Very well, hope you're doing well as well. Alistair, I can recall you can actually use reversers in flight in Concorde for expeditious descents. I think the procedure is either reverse on engines 2 and 3. You're absolutely correct. Probably not so much at Mach 2 supersonic flight, but I think you're quite right for the other descent points. Pilot Mike, thank you. West Atlantic route system. Well, Pilot Mike will certainly know it because he flies oceanic periodically in his 787, so thanks for that. No idea myself. Thanks a lot to Liam Barwick, who's just joined as a member. Liam, were you a member, or is it doing its renewal thing, I think? Well, welcome back. Thank you very much if you have come back, and I think you know how it all works. Thank you. James MP, have you ever listened to the 737 podcast? It's done by two pilots aimed at real 737 pilots to help you brush up on their system knowledge. I haven't, James MP. I mean, that sounds pretty cool. I mean, I'm very much aim my content and advertise it as entertainment only, so I wouldn't want to be listening to I'm sure it's very good, and especially if you want to pick up a few tips here, but I wouldn't be using it, say, as an educational point of view. You know, I'd say just stick to the manuals, but yeah, it'd be pretty cool to pick up a few tips. Joey Long, it's your first stream. Welcome aboard, buddy. Lux5678, how do you plan to descend for something so fast and high? It's just, it takes around around 100 miles to go from this point to around 30,000 feet, and then another 100 miles to kind of get from 30,000 feet down to sea level. So that's all very approximate, so around approximately 200 miles. We'll find you, if you descend sort of in a certain fashion in Concorde, to be at the right point here. I tried it, and it worked quite well in the test sectors. We have to keep doing these flybys, don't we? You only get the sonic boom in shift 2. There we go. There's the sonic boom. But if you do that and then press C, you just get the sound, but you don't get the sonic boom. Like that. But that just gives you a far better impression of the speed we're flying at. Boz, where's Jack and Mariana? Mariana's doing some ironing. Yes! And Jack's with Mariana. But she's keeping an eye on the stream, making sure you're behaving. Hey Walker, how does IFR work pre-GPS just nav radios? All these gauges are so confusing. So yes, VOR navigation was used inland, but obviously middle of the Atlantic Ocean here there are no VORs, so we're using an inertial navigation system, which is basically a self-contained system where you tell it your position pre-flight, and it can work out using accelerometers and gyroscopes your position over Earth. Very, very clever bit of kit. How it exactly works. Asked me 10 years ago when I was taking my TPL exams, I'd be far better inclined to answer correctly, but all the information is available online. Mariana, what are you doing?
Mariana's doing what?
Mariana's doing the ironing, but now
I heard that.
now honking dog toys in my ear. Stop it! Unbelievable. Now Jack's come here to cause problems as well. Hey buddy, come here then. Up. You want to? No? Okay. Bye then. Yeah, I know. Unbelievable. That's something a Concorde pilot never had to deal with. Amazing, yes. Not a sterile cockpit, is it? No, Jason.
Sam doesn't know what's ironing either, boss.
What do you mean? I do my ironing sometimes, and I always iron my shirts. Hi, buddy. Hi, Jack. What's this? Here. Oh, you're just interested in your piggy, isn't he? Oh. There you go. There you go. Here's Jack, everyone, if you're new to the stream. Our 6-year-old Labrador.
50, 40,
6 years old
30,
in a week, isn't he?
20,
There you go.
10.
Thank you very much to Maybelline.
Thanks for the great stream. Are you planning on any more tutorials? I'd like one on eyebrow pencils. I found only dental wipes will remove them.
I know it is.
Is this something to do with you? What is going on?
Eyebrows.
This stream is going downhill very quickly. Maybelline? Who put you up to this? Was that you?
Not me, it's not me.
Yeah, but you seem to have come in. What?
Come
Unbelievable. Maybelline, thanks to £5. Thanks to Crazy. Are you planning on any more tutorials? I like one on eyebrow pencils. Found one dental wipes. Remove them. Great.
Remember when you removed that from your
Oh,
eyebrows?
that's why they're asking Dettol wipes. Yes, Moen. The reason I used is because Mariana, as a prank. What did you do again?
It wasn't a prank, I did your eyebrows.
Oh yeah, no. Mariana was plucking my eyebrows. I was having a little bit of a monobrow situation. Yeah, it was from 4 years ago, and Mariana decided to spruce them up a little bit. But I had no idea what she was doing.
But I just used the eyebrow pencils.
I looked like I was off that TV show. What do you call it?
Quiet.
RuPaul.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
Fuel status, 40 tons.
Excellent, 40 tons of fuel remaining. We'll start talking about the approach shortly here. Is this story time? No, Domino Mosina. A monobrow situation. David Smith, you have a boatload of people watching. Congratulations, thank you. Now they're all hearing about my monobrow situation 3 or 4 years ago. Who? Moen? Moen, unbelievable. Don't be put up by Mariana with this sort of stuff. Unbelievable. You got it, Gentaris. Oh yeah, how's the flight deck sim bingo going? Oh, Domino Mosina, wasn't it? That was so funny. I do need to show it. Domino Mosina, what I'll do, if you don't mind, I'll take a screenshot of that and share it on my Instagram so people can play flight deck sim bingo. I have a tendency to say certain things on streams. Very, very funny. Right, anyway, let's start having a little bit of a chat about our approach today. So, as mentioned, we're jetting along the, yes, as Mike told us, the West Atlantic routes, or the Oceanic Airway routes here. And we're 17 minutes, here's the time on the INS till we get to our next waypoint. After Richtia, we'll then be going to Sitters, and then to Lisa. Just prior to Lisa, we're going to initiate our descent. So that's around, I'd say, 25 minutes from now. So we'll start setting up everything here. Cool. So let's bring up all the charts we'll need. So flying into Barbados, which is Lima. No, it's not. It's Tango Bravo Papa Bravo. So there's no arrivals here. Just takes you straight to the approach where there's a VOR. I'm going to be flying the ILS Yankee runway 09, and we're going to be doing a procedure turn in Concorde. Why, I don't know, but it's the only kind of instrument approach. There is a DME arc as well, but I've done plenty of DME arcs before, and in the FlyJ sim. So I'm going to do a procedure turn in Concorde, which will be pretty cool. Probably the least likely you'll ever get, because any one final approach we're going to be heading straight towards in a very pointy aircraft. So that's the approach we're going to fly, and we'll simply grab a airport chart as well. That's all we have there. Thank you very much to A Walker. Welcome aboard as a member, buddy. Glad you're enjoying the content. You get invited to our members only Discord. Enjoy your custom emojis and chat as well. Welcome to Team Green, as we like to say these days. Very cool. Right, so this is what we're going to do, guys. We're going to initiate descent around 200 miles away from Barbados. When we get a little bit closer, I'm going to fly direct to the Barbados VOR, which is Bravo Golf India. It's called Adams. So we'll use INS navigation all the way until this point here. Once we're from before Lisa, we should be able to pick up the VOR, and I'll stop using INS navigation. We'll route direct to the Adams Bridgetown VOR, which is just here. Now, once we get to the VOR, we're going to make a right turn. Thank you very much, John, from Wiltshire. He's just purchased a baby premium onesie. And amazing. You bought Alpaca Airways baby onesie. Oh my goodness. So your kid will be the talk of the town at the parents club. I don't know. That's amazing. Thank you so much, John, from Wiltshire. I can't quite see the comment because, you know, it comes up so quickly and then disappears again. But thank you so much. That's very, very kind. I've no doubt you'll quote the comments in chat there. And that's superb. The onesies, not the most popular product line, but very, very cool that you bought it nonetheless. Thank you. So we're going to fly direct to the Bridgetown VOR, and we'll be making sure we're descending. I'm going to probably be overhead the airfield around 5,000 feet at this point, just in case there's any one final approach here. And then we're going to fly kind of outbound on the kind of back course of the localizer, but I won't be using the back course. I'll be going outbound on the 271 radial. Around 7 DME. Well, usually a procedural turn approach like this is timed, and there's no information here, so what usually happens, this is according to PANZOP's criteria, you go outbound from the beacon for around 1 to 3 minutes for a 45-180 turn like this, and then when you get there, you make a left turn 45 degrees, which is a heading of 226, and it says the procedure turn can only be used for aircraft beginning the approach of the VOR, which we will be. And we can go straight out because it's within 30 degrees. We're going to make a left turn after 7 miles. I don't think it's associated with the left turn. Usually it's a time of 1 to 3 minutes. And then I don't know what category aircraft Concorde would fall under. I guess Cat D, because it's so fast. Maybe Cat E, or it had a unique approach speed or something like this. Essentially, for a Cat C or greater aircraft on a 45-180 degree turn, you have to then go outbound for 1 minute 15 seconds, and that starts at the point at which you initiate the turn. So we're going to go 1 minute 15 seconds in this direction. We could then safely descend down to 2,000 feet, although probably won't go that low, otherwise we're going to be blasting over the sea here. But I'm going to try and maintain a brief kind of level segment before we intercept the ILS. After 1 minute 15, we're going to make a right turn 180 degrees to go on to a heading of 046, and on that heading we'll intercept the localizer 091 inbound and onto the ILS. So that's what we're going to do. So what we'll do, we'll tune up the Adams VOR, which is 12.7. 12.7. I'm going to set initially the outbound course for the radial, which is going to be 271. It's very cool that you can actually rotate this whilst holding the left mouse down. It means you can rotate the course really quickly. So when we switch over for the ILS later, I can just quickly set the reciprocal. The inbound course of the ILS will set on standby on Jim's side, which is 091. Here, ILS, again, when we're on the procedural turn outbound on 226, we'll tune the ILS, which is 1101. It's at the ILS at 2,000 feet. 7 miles, which is actually based off the VOR. There's no DME associated with the ILS here, it's localizer only. MSA 2,600 all the way around, so no terrain issues. Elevation's 170 feet. So that's it, that's what we're going to do. Minimums for Cat C aircraft 200, oh no, Cat D I think we'll go for 226. So set down the radio altimeter, that way we'll get the minimums light come up at the correct height. Even though it's technically a D8. So that's set, which is going to be 395 feet on the altimeter. So what I'll do, I'll put a little bug at 395. Let's just make it the yellow bug. Yeah, the yellow bug then is the minimum's height. And yeah, that's it. If we have to go around, climb on 3,000 feet on track 091, make a right turn back to the VOR, and then we'll go straight into another approach. That's the missed approach. So for 09, the weather here, let's just get the latest METAR. Actually, I'll let one of you guys in chat bring up the METAR so we can all look at it together. The ICAO code is Tango Bravo Papa Bravo. The wind's quite favourable today, quite a strong easterly wind, but down the runway. Kicked by Cat. I knew someone would be making a reference to this. Yes, I will lower the gear prior to glide slope capture. But yeah, nice long runway here in Barbados. I mean, Concorde there was a routine service, I think, from London Heathrow to Barbados and Concorde. So thanks, guys, for grabbing the METAR. So there we are. Oh, look at that, 090, 24 knots. It's pretty windy, but straight down the runway. Look at the weather. -2 in New York, but 29 degrees Celsius in Barbados. QNH is 1015. Superb. So make a note of the QNH. Very good. Now, something I want to bring to your attention. Alright. If you go here to the main GUI, go to aircraft, you'll currently see that it says aircraft is currently too heavy for a safe landing. We've got too much fuel. Okay, so maximum landing weight is 111.1 tons. We've got 123.6 right now, so we need to burn off the rest of that as fuel. So 123.6 minus 111.1. So we need to burn another 12.5 tons of fuel. So if we go here to our total fuel contents, which is now, let's call it 37,000. 37 minus 12.5 equals 24.5. So I have to wait until the fuel load here, guys, make a note of this, is below 24,500. When it's below 24,500, I know I'm below the maximum landing weight of this aircraft, because at the moment we're 11 tons too heavy, but I guarantee we'll burn all of that fuel by the time we approach the airport. So there we go. And that's why you've got to be very careful with the fuel planning, because if you take too much, you'll end up having to hold to get the landing weight below that. You can dump fuel trucking, that's also an option, but ideally you want to avoid doing that. There you go. Now literally easy, just hold for a minute and it will be gone. Exactly. I mean, we're burning, what is it here? We're burning 20 tons of fuel an hour right now, so yeah, you can do the maths. It's going to be gone in 30 minutes. Anyway. Very cool. Or Richard suggested drop some passengers or luggage. But yeah, lovely add-on, this one. Abby, are you going to do a special stream at 70,000 subs? We are. We're going to be doing a charity stream where I'll forego any donations. All of it will go to a charity via Just Giving. And that's going to be coming very soon. I might not do it as soon as you reach 70k. There might be another stream beforehand, but we'll do a stream to celebrate reaching 70,000 subscribers. But yeah, as I was just saying, this is a great aircraft. Someone was asking, yeah, oh guys, this aircraft is actually on discount at the moment from Colimata. It's $10 off. So if you want to buy it now, it's $49.95. And that, I have not been told by Colimata to say that. I'm just telling you out because I know a lot of people are asking, well, what is it worth? But yeah, it is on discount now, $50. I think it's worth it. And a very active team there. I mean, since I last flew it, there's a lot more of the panels being modelled here, like lights and these switches now say what's going on as well. I think they added like 200 more functional switches and stuff. But regarding, you know, you want the engineer to worry about the engineer's panel. I don't want actually any more functionality with modelling this. Just want to make sure that the automation flies correctly. Jacob, where are we? He says. Here is the world. Just look at that. Airborne at 16:55. We're airborne an hour and 15 minutes ago. Look how far we've travelled in an hour and 15 minutes. It's just crazy. There's the Caribbean coming up. And there's Barbados. Our alternate today is St. Lucia. So we have to go there. That takes a lot of fuel as well, so we have to bear that in mind. But the weather's nice in Barbados, quite windy, but down the runway favourable. But yeah, we're going to initiate our descent just before this waypoint here. Lucid. So yeah, that's it. ETA to our next waypoint is 6 minutes, 118 miles away, 118 miles travelled in 6 minutes. It'll be another 6 minutes to the next waypoint. So yeah, top of descent around 14-15 minutes away, guys. Taylor, what's the current Mach number? We're currently travelling at Mach decimal 2. There you go. Freckles, I wonder if Concorde ever had to cancel the flight because there wasn't an alternate in range with good enough weather. That's actually a good point, Freckles. I was thinking that earlier because you can't really load on a huge amount of extra fuel because that's going to put you close to your max landing weight. You could already see here, to get below our max landing weight, we have to get below 25 tonnes. Now, I know when we did the Concorde flight, you usually arrive at 15, 14 tonnes, but there must be a limit that's different to a normal commercial limitations where, you know, the 737... you can usually take an extra hour's worth of fuel without having to worry about the max landing weight, even if you've got a full load of passengers. So yeah, interesting. I wonder what they would have to do in that situation. Did I say Mach decimal 2? Sorry, Mach 2. What did I say decimal 2 for? Mach 2. Oh dear. Yeah, if we're doing Mach decimal 0.2, we're in something with a propeller. Not going in Concorde, that's for sure. Can you see the stars? Look, can you see that? Oh look, there's the moon. I only just realised. That's a new moon, isn't it? But I really like an X-plane level, but you can see the world's it's getting dark because you can actually see the stars in space up there. It's actually quite realistic. Loud. So cool. The moon. Everyone's got into Kerbal Space Program on Discord. I've been playing a bit on my off time. I haven't played for a couple of days now. Bodybuilder muscle chap. I used to work on BA thanks to hotline offers. I got to fly on Concorde to JFK, then QE2 back. That's pretty cool. Sergey, no, hello there. What is the software that shows the map? That is Navigraph. Oh, part I might have tempted by Kerbal. Get it? It is really cool. It's a nice little physics-based game, and it's really rewarding with the little Kerbals. I love it. I mean, Elon Musk plays it. Yeah, this procedural turn approach is going to be interesting. Notsky, Spa's calling you, it's very tricky. Yeah, I've been talking to Tobias. We're going to jump on and do some practice. He's teach me a bit about the setups of cars and stuff. Yes, Flight Data Sim Gaming, we're going to be going live at 8 PM on Saturday again for the third race in the Alpaca GT Cup Racing Series. I came 8th for last race, I think, but nowhere near as much practice at Silverstone, but I wanted to get a little bit better, a bit more consistency. So I'll chat with you guys tomorrow about that. Has anyone tried the new Microsoft Flight Simulator update for the UK as well? I might check that out. It's been a while since we streamed that, so I might do a GA flight next, and then obviously a Assetto Corsa on the gaming channel. Then yeah, it'll be 70k next, so I'll start thinking about getting that done in the next few weeks. So 40 miles to run to the next INS waypoint. Rukdia. Again, just to compare with where we'd be in a conventional aircraft at our next waypoint, 36 miles time. There we are. So if we were in a 737, we'd be approaching this waypoint here, Rukdia, after 3 hours, 2 hours 57 minutes, and that's actually going really fast. Look, decimal 89 apparently. I mean, that's even. Why does it say decimal 89 in the 737? That's a bit fast, because I think it's 60,000 feet, so it wouldn't even be that. It'd be around 3 hours 10. And we were airborne at 16:55. So 17:55, 5:20. So 1 hour 20. So being Concorde, we're going to get there in 1 hour 20, and it would usually take 3 hours 10. So we're nearly 2 hours ahead of if an aircraft took off at the same time, we're now 2 hours ahead of it after being airborne for an hour 20. It's crazy. The UK update is gravy. Ground effect as well. You can float the entire. Oh, so the still. So this is this Microsoft Flight Simulator still doing this thing? I remember we're doing a landing in the aircraft. I literally closed the power off. I think it was in the King Air just for a bit of fun, and it just went down the runway. It didn't even slow down. It slowed down like a 1 knot a second. It just didn't want to land. Yeah, it still needs some tweaking and updating. Very cool. Liam, any plans to get the E300 back in? Yeah, yes, I'll probably next Explain 11 stream jump into the Zebo mod, go for another one of those 2 sectors in the Day of a Life on pilot streams, because they were quite popular. So I might do a little 2 sector day there. But I haven't penciled out. What are we here today? On Wednesday. So yeah, maybe Friday night I'll do something. But I'll have a look what CIMSFS is with the update. It's been a while since we streamed that. Then Zebo, then 70k celebration stream. So yes, guys, don't forget to subscribe. I'll check where we are. I think we've gained 20 subscribers during the stream. If we get up to 70,000 subscribers this stream, that would be really cool. I'm having a look now. Oh wow, the actual subscriber count right now is only shows news 100 public key, but the exact number is 69,982 subscribers. So yes, if you'd like to subscribe, become part of Flight Data Sim Concorde history, get 70,000 subscribers in one stream, that would be very, very cool. Darren Perv's 104th Madrid is so good on Concorde, has 3,000 hours in it. I've referenced some of his videos for his preparation, so yeah, if you want to learn more about Concorde, I'd thoroughly recommend looking at some history. Wow, 3,000 hours, that's crazy. Yeah, so close. Yeah, so close. I just refreshed it. It's gone up to 983, so one person listened. So close to 70k, guys. That'd be wicked. Right. Did you guys have any questions about the approach anyway? That was actually quite a quick briefing because there's no FMS to program or load. The descent is very rough maths. I've not taken the wind into account. I mean, the wind up here, it's currently... Oh, actually, I'm not sure about that one. Let's look at the INS here. There we are. It's which one's speed and which one's... I think that's the speed. So 069 at 18 knots. Hardly any wind. It's quite cool. 149 7.8. What I'll actually do is I'll actually disable the INS plugin soon. It still works, but it gets rid of the stutters. I just want to make sure we've got the VOR in range first before I do that. So if it does proper braking, I can use the VOR navigation. Lucas, does the Concorde have ILS? Yes, it can fly an instrument landing approach, no problem. Oh, Gabsha, I thought this was the 70k special. Oh, absolutely not. No. The every 10,000 subscribers now on the channel will be streamed for charity. No, that'll be a bit of a build-up to that. Would you like another external view? Yes, let's do it. Rotation. It's a beautiful area. Abby, will the aircraft auto-land? I think it does have a facility to auto-land. There's certainly a button that says auto-land, or a light. How that works and to what minima you can fly that with, I do not know. So amazing technology for its age, absolutely, Ralph. Michael Bucci, the best ever plane created, followed by the MD-11 and the 747. I incline to agree with you, minus the MD-11. I think it's a good aircraft, but this is probably the most iconic. Amazing. Samuel, hi Captain, how much fuel are you using up at the moment? At the moment we're burning 5 tons of fuel per hour per engine, so 20 tons an hour of fuel. We've got 32 tons left. Someone wanted to see the engine position of the ramps. Let's have a look here. Really cool that you have this. There you are, look, the inner ramp and outer ramps at 19 degrees. That's to bring that supersonic airflow to a subsonic speed so it can be ingested by the engine. You have a inflow spill door here as well, which opens at certain phases. Very cool, all this. See where the fuel is, and the engine is moving that around to ensure the CGs are in limits. We'll need to move it for approach and land, descent and landing. CFG position, all managed by the engineer. See, the thrust is still at full power. Still too heavy for landing. Remember, we need to be below 25 tons or something like that. 24.5 tons of fuel to get the landing weight below max landing weight. Very cool. Ooh, so close to 70k. Nearly flight level 360. 69,992. Guys, yes, if you're expecting butter today, forget it. Last time I approached this on a stream, I got an acceptable landing rate, according to the butter calculator. My practice attempts were between hard landing and adequate. I haven't got anything less than 300. It is so hard to land this aircraft, so hard. The attitude's like 15 degrees nose up on approach. You're flying at 195 knots. The flare is so difficult to judge. So difficult to judge, but we're really approaching top of descent here, guys. Here's waypoint number 6, sitters. Once overhead sitters, remaining distance on the flight is 339 nautical miles. At least it's 190, so around 10 miles before that, maybe a little bit sooner, just to give myself plenty of space. I'll initiate our descent, and we'll be within the 200 miles at least. Yeah, very close, guys. Sitters is the next waypoint.
50, 40,
We're
30,
3 minutes away from that
20,
waypoint,
10.
and then there'll be another 5 or 6 minutes thereafter. Thanks a lot, Dominic Orsini, for the $5.
Love the content. You inspired me to apply for a cadet program
Alex,
at the ripe
Alex.
old age of 27. Keep up the great work, Captain.
Well, thank you very much, Alex, for the £5.
50,
I'll read that again
40,
shortly. And this is the
30,
one I saw pop up first. Thank you
20,
very much, Dominic, for
10.
the $5. Very kind, both of you.
Good afternoon, Captain. Sorry to join late, we just flew into KEWR.
So cool.
Hope Mariana and Jack are doing well.
Well, I hope you had a safe flight, Dominic, and thank you so much for the $5. So we're all doing very well over here in the Flight Data Sim household. Thank you very much for your donation. And to Alex there, thank you very much. Love the content. You inspire me to apply for a cadet program at the ripe old age of 27. Keep up the great work, Captain. Thank you very much, Alex, for your £5 donation. Best of luck with your future endeavours as well. I'll be streaming throughout your training, but do bear in mind this is for entertainment purposes only, not educational. But thank you very much nonetheless, and best of luck with everything. Super cool. Listen, when it comes to subs, I would ignore that. Streamlabs is very broken when it comes to who's subscribed and stuff. I've actually turned the sub dinger off now. It was all over the place. But thank you very much, everyone. Darren Purves, can we see the gap, please? I don't know if that's modelled. Are you referring to the fact that it expands during with the temperature? I mean, if it is modelled, that's pretty cool. But there is a gap there. So it would suggest, I think, when we slow down, that gap would close. I think that's where the gap was. And I think each section of the aircraft was kind of built on, it wasn't on wheels, but it was like, it had the ability to allow for the expansion. Lucas, how fast are you when you're landing this plane? Quick. Very quick. The same as landing with the 737 flaps up, basically. Let's have a look at our VREF today. VREF is going to be 196 knots. Now that will come down a little bit as we burn fuel, but it'll be around 190, I think. So yeah, 195 plus a bit more with the headwind, so maybe around 200 knots today. Huh? Oh, we've reached 70,000! Yay! Has it actually though? Because it looks a bit lower, but I think it rounds it up anyway. But that's cool because on the actual counter it still says 69993. But I think YouTube has a tendency to round it up. But so thank you so much, guys.
Can 7 of you just follow so I can do the whole thing again?
Yeah, woo! Jag, what do you think? 70,000 subs. Yeah. He's just gone for his toy. Amazing. Thanks a lot to all of you guys. That's really, really cool. And especially to have done it during a live stream. But I'm pretty sure, officially it's not, but I think maybe YouTube has cycled over. That's pretty cool. Thanks, guys. Amazing. Right, anyway, we're inbound now to our last waypoint, 140 miles to go. Again, just to make reference to the Navigraph chart, there we are. So, when we're around 15-20 miles away from this waypoint, we'll initiate our descent. 7 minutes till that next waypoint as well. So we're going to start our descent around 5 minutes from now. So for descent, I'm not sure how accurate this is with regards to how you have to manipulate the Colimata automation. But essentially what I'm going to use is pitch hold initially, just to get the nose going down, and just take the auto throttle off and reduce the smallest amount of thrust. Now, there's a little gate here. You see this white arrow? It's really important you don't set thrust lower than this, or 90. I think it's 93% N2. Any less than that, or go anything near idle, you're going to cause issues to the engines because of the air going supersonic. So you have to really take only the smallest amount of thrust off and let the drag do all the business there. Very cool. Oh, thanks. Oh, Mariana's giving me a hug. You're gonna break it. Right, Mariana was giving me a bit of a hug and I thought the headset was crackling. A hug and a half. Yay, 70k. Yeah, clear off. Thank you. Right, Mariana's gone off with Jack now, so we can actually concentrate on the approach and perhaps learn something new. Very cool. So yes, if you just joined, we're just approaching top of descent, guys. We'll be flying off INS navigation shortly to fly VOR direct to the Adams VOR, Bridgetown in Barbados, and then we'll be flying the proceed return, the 45-180 proceed return onto the ILS. Unless Phantom Online comes there. VATSIM map. Is there actually any VATSIM online here? Oh, my phone. Oh, my phone is not opening VATSIM map. There we go. Sean, what is this crazy contraption? Concorde! No, there's no ATC in Barbados, unfortunately, so we'll see when we get a bit closer. I might just pop off online. I know there's some other people have joined in on the flight and stuff, but if there's no ATC and I want to fly this procedure turn, all I'm going to be doing is causing problems for people who are flying a normal ILS or the RNAV arrival, because they'll be flying straight towards them. So I might have to just log my flight there. Cut again, 13 minutes according to the ETA. Isn't that a bit early? Yes, I mean, if we don't slow down from supersonic flight, going exactly as we are, we'll be flying directly overhead Barbados in just 12 minutes. That's crazy
50,
if you think about it.
40,
We'll be, of course, slowing
30,
down.
20, 10.
Thanks a lot, Steve Mayer, for the £5.
Well done, boss, on the 70k.
Thank you.
So any ideas on the charity stream?
A couple of ideas, Steve. Thank you so much. Now, we'll probably do it in a week's time or so from now. I've got something along the lines of Blériot 11, doing some sort of historic flight there, or trying to do as many takeoffs and landings in the Blériot 11 before I run out of fuel, which I think it'll go for 2 hours or so. Which would be quite fun to watch. I could even do Concorde from Barbados. That would be another option. Someone
50,
wanted me to do
40,
as many touch and goes as the
30,
737 one. I've
20,
got some ideas. Got some
10.
ideas there. But thank you very much, Steve. Thanks a lot, Andy, as well, for the £5.
Congratulations on the 70k subs. Just a quick question, is clear off part of the official CRM training? Laughing face.
Thank you very much, Andy M71, for the £5. I can assure you we do not, or would never say that to a colleague at work. But as Mariana's squeaking furry dog toys and animals in me, it's suitable language for that situation. Thank you very much, Andy. Right, we've got about 50 miles to go, so that means we have around 220-30 miles away. Let's be a little bit conservative and initiate descent now. So let's get those top of descents in chat. What we're going to do then is disengage Max Climb and Max Cruise. Just set that pitch attitude just below the horizon. There we are. Engage pitch, which is, if I can find it. Oh my days, where is it? Staring me in the face. Pitch hold, there we are, and just take the smallest amount of thrust off.
50, 40,
so we get to about 93%
30,
N2.
20, 10.
There we are, and we started our
Turns
descent.
out you save exactly £9.74 on a Concorde purchase. Thanks for the stream. Enjoying it as always. Congratulations on 70k subs. Keep up the great work and stay safe.
Oh, thank you so much to Study V21 for the £9.74. I did purchase the Concorde a while back, but I've already made a return on the investment. Thank you so much, Study V21. Glad you enjoyed the stream. Thank you for your kind words regarding our 70k subscription this evening, and we'll carry on doing what we're doing. Thank you so much, buddy. Excellent. So there we are. We're now descending. So you'll see, look, I've taken just the smallest amount of thrust off. We're still at 93% N2 rated thrust here. But even just taking off that amount of thrust, look how quickly we're decelerating. Look at our ground speed, 1092, 1091. There's so much drag still flying this fast. So the idea is we'll just maintain this sort of pitch attitude initially. I might just make it a little bit lower here, and I want to be maintaining around 350 to 400 knots. And look at that, we've just picked up now the VOR. Look, 180 miles to go from the VOR. What I'm going to do now is a nice little trick here if you owned the aircraft, is because we're now routing towards the last waypoint, just to show you here. You can actually disable in the plugin admin SIVA and it will still work, but it stops. I just press that tick here, so, and it'll still work in INS, which is pretty cool, and it just gets rid of those stutters that you get from the SIVA plugin. Now, unfortunately, the person who made that is no longer going to be actively updating or developing
50,
their aircraft.
40,
So,
30,
all good there.
20,
Fuel trim, Akka,
10.
thank you so much for reminding me. Engineer, trim for
You will
descent.
trim to descent.
super proud of you, always raising hand, light skin tone, sparkling heart, love Jack and I.
What? What was that? Light skin tone, sparkling hearts? Thanks, sweetheart. Mariana, my partner there, coming in with a generous donation of £3. That's very, very kind, and thank you very much for your kind words. Thank you so much. But as Listerman has just said, Mariana, oh my days, why are we just... hold on. Why are we dropping out so fast? That's a little bit excessive. Right, I'm just going to go vertical speed here. Why are we... Hold on. I think that's to do with the trim. I think there's a slight bug in the Colimata. When you trim for descent, it really throws the CG off quite quickly, and I think that's what's happened. It's just completely thrown off the CG, which is why we're descending so fast. But I've now set a bit more of a respectable rate of descent. Don't start climbing. Whoa, where are we going? Vertical speed. I'm just going to put Outquire in here. It's really all over the place. So that's the Colimata. It's just I shifted the CG in a turn. It really didn't like that at all. There we are. So it's now getting stabilised on the vertical speed. So yeah, top tip: don't be in a turn at a supersonic flight. Otherwise, it really throws it off now. Now it's going to make the turn onto the navigation. There we are. Oof, there we go. That was close. Didn't do that on testing. Yes, Listerman, as you mentioned, Mariana is a huge part of the Flight Data Sim community, especially with Discord. Helps me run it and everything, and she spends so much time streaming with some of the guys now. It's really cool. So yeah, absolutely well said. Thank you. Right, now she's
50,
back and stable again.
40, 30.
Trim for
20,
descent, make sure your wing's
10.
level. Just going to set a bit more high of a rate of descent now. And make it about
70k
350.
is a lot. Don't do the charity steam too early for us in the US. I don't want to miss it.
Of course, Abby.
Congrats, man.
Thank you so much, Abby, for the $5. That's very, very kind. Yes, I'll do it evening UK time, 7, 8 o'clock, so give an opportunity to be at a respectable time for our friends in the US. That's usually where I can get the most viewers. Again, I would have streamed a bit later this evening, but I have my Xbox this evening. But thank you very much, buddy. Glad you enjoyed the stream, and thank you for the continued support. Cool, so we're going to keep the thrust where it is. I'm just going to manipulate vertical speed now to kind of maintain 350 knots with this thrust setting. As we get a bit low, I'll start further reducing the thrust, but I won't want to be really descending here of idle thrust here. Cool. So yeah, what I'll do, I'll come off INS navigation now as well. So I'm going to line up the course here. I'm just going to go to track heading here for a second, just because when I shift... Wait, where are you going? It's on true heading, not magnetic, that's why. So I just want to go wings level. I'm going to turn off INS now, go to radio. I'm going to line up the course now to our present course. And we're going to fly inbound on whatever radial this is. So the tail of this needle now on the 042 radial. So if I now go Vorlock, there we are. So we're now using Vorlock and flying conventionally, so we're not using the INS anymore. Both switches are on radio. There we go. But the great thing is you can still use INS for... I've programmed the INS waypoint still for the VOR, so we've still got the ETA for the time, 11 minutes. Remember, we're slowing down still, so that will probably stay around the same now. Again, I'm just going to increase that rate of descent slightly, just to maintain around 350 knots.
50, 40,
Water throttle's still off at this
30,
stage.
20, 10.
Oh, Nubik, that's great. Nubik, very, very kind. Thank you.
Congrats to 70k.
That's very kind. Thank you,
50,
Nubik, for your
40,
continued support as a member.
30,
And thank you so
20,
much for your kind words. Very,
10.
very kind. Thanks a lot as well. Work safe for the £10.
Usually miss this, but working from home today. Good news if the snow ever quits in there. Central US, I have a discovery flight this weekend with my partner.
Well, thank you so much, Work Safe, for the £10. That's very kind. I'm glad you were able to watch this live, and hopefully you can replay this at your own convenience and learn perhaps to fly the Colimata Concorde. Well, I say learn, I'm very much kind of guesstimating what I'm doing by watching a few other streams online and the tutorial that's included, but a lot of my knowledge as a 7.3 skipper can be used, especially when it comes to navigation as we are now. And the automation is in many ways quite similar to the 737, so it works in a similar way, some slight different quirks, but I hope you'll learn something new. Thank you. Mache, why don't you go for the IAS hold if you're targeting a speed? That's a good point, but I think that'll alter the pitch here. I basically want to keep the auto throttle disconnected and maintain, I think, this thrust of 93% until you're subsonic, and then you're free to use the thrust at your own discretion. So the idea is I lock in the thrust and just use vertical speed to maintain that target speed. We're about to go subsonic now, about to leave Mach 1, so we'll do one more fly past with the sonic boom. It's a lot quieter now. Look how much slower we're going. Still got a little sonic boom, which is cool. Oliver Maston, are you doing this in full on real time? Absolutely, everything is real. The time, the weather, it's all spot on. About 100 miles to go, 30,000 feet, that looks good. Especially as the fact I want to be around 5,000 feet over the airfield as we fly this procedure. Awesome. Just getting an update for the weather in Barbados as well. It's windy, 090 at 24 knots. QNH is now 1015. Going to go down to flight level 200. Right, so we're now subsonic. So what I'm going to do is bring the auto throttle in now, and that's going to maintain 350 knots for me. And I'm just going to use my vertical speed to kind of work out to be 5,000 feet over the airfield here. So now we're below supersonic speeds, the thrust we can use in its full range, I believe, anyway. ETA to touchdown, I'd say around, 25 minutes? Very cool. Cool. Yeah, unfortunately, no ATC in Barbados, and because I'm going to be flying this procedural approach, I'm going to jump offline. And I know, Freckles, you're joining on the sector. The reason I'm just going offline is no ATC here, buddy. And this particular approach I'm going to be flying, I'm going to be upsetting anyone who's online. So yeah, next time I'll try and pick a VATSIM event, or at least fly at a time where it'll be suitable to get some ATC. So we've got 10 minutes to go. I want to be at around 5,000 feet over the airfield, so we've got 20,000 feet to go in 10 minutes. So we want to be doing around 2,000 feet per minute rate of descent now, so let's set 2,000, and that way we kind of maintain a continuous descent all the way. Joe Drage, I knew we've already had some subtle references to yesterday's Discord stream. Well, some made it to the stream late. Landing gear, yep, thank you. That's yourself and Cat now. Brilliant. Work safe. Not sure what the rest of the world calls discovery flights, but I get to go freeze in a Piper Archer this weekend. Hopefully get to use some of my pilot edge agency knowledge. Very cool. We'll enjoy that flight in the Archer. Super cool. Right. Decelerate to subsonic then. So seatbelt sign on, most smoking signs on. Throttle back slowly, which we did. Engines were checked. Fuel trimmed for descent. And next thing, very important, don't forget to fuel trim to landing, which I'm going to do below 10,000 feet. Otherwise, the nose is all over the place. It's a little bit too low, I think, so we'll have to do that. Fuel-wise, remember, we're still just above our max landing weight here. We need to get that fuel below 24,500, which it will be. Kind of plan this with a bit of trial and error on the test sectors here. Well spotted, Listerman. It did say slowly. Very cool. 70 miles to run. Lucas, congrats to 70k. When can you put your nose down? We'll do that once we're outbound here on the procedure turn. I'll start lowering the nose. Just to show you as well, one more time, guys, where we are geographically. So there we are. Flight time. What was that? We're airborne at. I keep forgetting. It's 16:55, so 1700. Airborne for just about hour 45 minutes. And look at that, we're in Barbados already, the Caribbean. That's crazy. Gotta love Concorde. Very cool. Right, we'll shut that off for now. So again, using a bit of mental maths here, 8 minutes to run at the VOR at 20,000 feet. I want to be over the airfield at 5,000 feet, so we've got 15,000 feet to lose. Divide that by 8. I want to be doing around, what's that, 1900 feet per minute. So again, we'll keep it. It should be doing that. Why is it off there? Oh, I know why, because it's levelling off at flight level 200. Oop. So vertical speed is re-engaged. Outer wires on, and we're going to go down to 5,000 feet now.
Fuel trim. Should I change it?
Oh, should I put it to landing now? Seems a bit early. 5,000 feet. What's the QNH again? 1015. 1015.
$50, $40, $30, $20.
That's it. QNH set. Thank you very much, Pancake King, for the $2. Says congrats on the 70k, Captain. Here's to many more. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for joining as the member. And I hope you get a lot out of the members only Discord. Thanks for another donation. Very kind. Jim's so polite today, said this son. Yes, especially as we put him in confinement because he got me to lower the gear on the test sector yesterday. Amazing. Start bringing that speed below 250 knots soon. Ah, show the panel gap. I don't know if that's modelled. We'll soon find out. I don't think... Oh, wait, what? Have they actually modelled that? Don't tell me Colimata have actually modelled that panel gap. I think they're smaller. I swear they're smaller. If they have, wow. I swear that was bigger earlier. I'd have to play the stream back. Am I imagining that? I don't know. If that's modelled, so cool. Still 43 degrees at the skin temperature. They have. Crap, maniac. That is so cool. Colimata have actually modelled the panel gap. How wicked. That's so cool. It looks smaller, yeah? That's awesome. Can we see Barbados yet? I can! There is Barbados ahead, ladies and gentlemen.
50, 40,
Awesome.
30, 20, 10.
Thank you very much, Avery, for the 50 Danish kroner.
Hello CAPN, it is me, do you remember me? If
Yes.
not, don't worry. Salutations with the 70,000.
Thank you.
About time. Hope you're staying safe and working still.
Thank you, Avery. Yes, of course, I remember all my members, ex-members, and so on. But thank you very much. Thank you, kind words regarding reaching 70,000 subscribers. And we're all very safe, well. And I'm in the sim in a couple of weeks, which is great. My 6-month sim check. But when I go next flying, not so sure. We'll have to hopefully wait for things to improve. But thank you very much for your donation. Very kind. And I hope you are doing very well. Thank you. Perfect. There's 15,000 feet, so we're going to start bringing the speed to 250 knots now. Highest acquire, so it's going to bring the thrust back. And here comes the speed. That was a lovely sector for Concorde. Amma says, imagine there's an airline still flying Concorde without anyone knowing about it. Oh, you'd know about it. You'd hear it before you see it. 36 miles to run, around 13,000 feet. That looks good. Remember, we're going to go over the airfield at 5,000 feet, outbound. And then we're going to do a 45-degree turn. And after a minute 15 seconds, a 180-degree turn, re-intercept the localizer onto the ILS. So we should be now below the amount of fuel required for max landing weight. What was it? 24,400. So we've still got an extra ton, but we're going to burn that off in no time. So if I just go here briefly to the GUI. So it still says aircraft currently too heavy for safe landing. We need to be 111 tons. We're at 111.9, so we need to burn another 800 kilos of fuel So yeah, that's going to be
50,
burnt by the time we
40,
get on the approach, I can assure you
30,
that. I put the fuel
20,
amount to a perfect
10.
amount to ensure we had loads extra. And below max landing weight. Thanks again, Pancake King.
Here's another fun fact: the Concorde's auto throttle system uses accelerometers to catch speed changes and correct them before the airspeed fluctuates.
Well, there you go. The auto throttle system uses accelerometers to catch speed changes and correct them before the airspeed fluctuates. That's incredible. Is there anything the engineers didn't think about? Oh, amazing. Thank you so much for that tidbit, Pancake King. Thanks a lot for the $5. Very, very kind. There we are, flight level 100. So I'm going to turn the taxi lights on. I'm not going to use the landing lights again because they're so washed out and bright. So they're on. I'll turn the taxi and
50,
turn off lights on.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Oh my. Oh dear.
Congrats for 70k, mate. Well deserved for such hard continued work. Your success since we left school is inspirational. Well done.
Oh, yours as well, Pilot Mike. Thank you so much for the £10. Now, for those of you familiar with the channel will know Pilot Mike's been around pretty much since the start. He's helped me moderate a lot of the streams. We've known each other for the best part of, 18, 19 years, went to secondary school together. We both went to the same flight training school, albeit at different times. I went one way, now skipper on the 7-3. Mike's now a senior 787 first officer. So we've all done it well. And Mike, I'd like to also take the time now to say thank you so much for spending your free time to help moderate the stream and spend time answering lots of the questions in Discord as well. That's very, very kind. Thank you. Awesome. Right, we're below 10,000 feet now, so I am going to turn the donation pinger off because this is certainly an approach which requires a lot of concentration. So alerts are now muted, guys. Thank you so much to everyone that's been so generous today as well. It's very, very kind to get that with the 70k. 20 miles to go, 8,200 feet, 250 knots, looking good. Remember, as I mentioned, straight to the beacon, right turn outbound on the 271, which I'm going to start getting all set up shortly. 70 ME, it's actually based on the inbound, but that's actually a nice point to which to initiate that left turn over to the ILS, and we'll insert the localizer there. Right, I'm now going to trim for landing as well.
Fuel trim to landing.
Look at that, watch the IVSI. What? It changes instantly, so hopefully Colimata will fine tune that to make sure it doesn't have such an abrupt change. I think it very quickly changes the CG, but now it's in a position for landing, which is good. We're below the amount required for a safe landing now, so 24.4. Again, we'll check that one more time. Aircraft, there we are. Look, we're 100 kilos below the max landing weight, so we are now safe to land. That fuel planning was absolutely perfect. That's what it is, guys. Trial and error. Trial and error. 15 miles to go. I'm going to bring the speed back to 230 knots, and I'll shortly drop the drip snoot. Turn the music off as well. What I've got left on the checklist here, so approach checklist, fuel trim planning, engines checked, master warning panel checked. It hasn't gone off once, landing lights required, full and the gear down, and then it's final touchdown. Perfect, throttles to idle, so you actually close the thrust during the flare here a little bit early. There's 5,000 feet, so I'm actually going to maintain, let's actually go down to 4,000. I'm going to go out to Quires armed and just set a really shallow rate of descent here, around 500 feet per minute. There's a couple of extra steps I need to go here as well. That's normal. I need to turn the brake fans on, and I think there might be something else I need to do here, which isn't on the checklist, but Jim, the engineer's been busy moving all the fuel around. John Padfield, this has been an amazing stream. It's been awesome, isn't it? I've really enjoyed it. 10 miles to go until we get to the VOR, guys. Nice to finish off with procedural approach as well. This is zoom level 19 I had for the tile. Squint ahead. There's the airport here, look. Look at the attitude it has to maintain. So cool. Even slower speeds, it's such a majestic aircraft. Look at the attitude at 230 knots, so high. 8 miles to run. 7 miles. I'm going to drop the visor now to 0, just improve that visibility. Remember, it's 28 degrees here, lovely and warm. And for this procedure, we can then, once we're overhead the VOR, go from 3,000 to 2,000 feet. So I'm going to set 2,000 feet now. We've got less than 5 miles to run. I'm now going to go to heading select, track heading. And I'm going to set that course outbound. It's going to be 091271. Cool. We'll take the airplane off. No cheating today. We're just going to start that turn very shortly to intercept that outbound. 4 miles to run until the VOR. Very quiet out here. Wouldn't be that quiet, but there's the airport. Landing rates, guys, predict in excess of minus 300. Trust me, it is so hard to butter this. I'm going to bring another 10 knots off the speed here. I'm going to start making a turn to intercept that outbound radial, which I'm going to do all manually. 2 miles to run. There's the airport. I think I'll start that turn now. So I'm going to make a turn to intercept the 271 outbound. It's a nice little intercept heading. So I'm looking at the HSI. Make sure that comes in. IS holds engaged. That's why I came offline on VATSIM, because there could be other people flying all over the place. Keep descending now. There's the RMI. So the needle's swinging. Cut the corner slightly. Now we're going to wait for 7 DME. There we are. So let's fly outbound. What's the wind doing here? Cool, it's windy. Look, 07822. It's actually picking up the middle marker. That's so cool. So we're now outbound here. If I bring up the little aeroplane icon, there you go. You can see we're outbound on the 271, and we're going to make a left turn shortly. Just making small heading adjustments. Keep the tail of this needle on 271. Keep the HSI aligned. I could actually go Vorlock, but we'll do it manually. Going to go down to 2,000 feet. Just going to keep it going at vertical speed, 500 feet per minute. Go another 5 degrees of notch for the flaps. Quick flyby. So cool. So small heading adjustments. Wait till 7 miles. And yeah, we can now step down to 2,000 feet. No DME with the ILS, so I want to keep the VOR on for as long as possible. So there's no working clock here, so we're going to start a timer on my phone at 7 miles for this turn, because you start the procedure turn at the initiation of the turn. So there's 7. We're going to make that left turn now. 226. And we'll start the timer. So we're now in this segment here. Bring up the little aircraft. There you go. And it's for 1 minute and 15 seconds starting from now. Still a very gentle descent to 2,000 feet. Pretty much just do 100 feet per minute. Pancake King, apparently the auto land can always land smoother than the pilots can. I can believe that. Well, certainly when it comes to me practicing. Cool, so we can line the course up now with the runway QDM 091. Waiting for 1 minute and 15. I've got a stopwatch going on my iPhone. You can't use a phone, they didn't exist back then, but the clock here doesn't work, unfortunately. Coming up to 1 minute. What's our VREF here? Oh, quickly. VREF is 196. I'm going to fly 201 knots on final. There's 1 minute and 15 coming up, so we're now going to make a 180-degree turn onto a heading of 046. Oh no, wrong one. It's a lot of clicking. The final approach track was 091. Let's go over to the ILS. The ILS frequency is 1101. There we are. Let's come up. Jim can have it too. Look at that view. One more little flyby. You'll see the headwind that will be pushing us in this direction as well. It's quite a strong wind here. Look at it, it's pushing us. So cool. Right, ILS is tuned. Localizers here, glide slope we're below as we could expect. Going to select landing attitude, visor down now. Just to show you where we are on the chart. There you are. Yeah, obviously it's not done to scale, but we've overshot it, but that's because we're in Concorde as well. Right, localizer should be coming alive any second. Manually sort of fly onto it, and then we can arm Vorlock. It's going to keep this a little bit of excess speed at the moment. There's a localizer coming alive. You can see it's moving in. So I'll fine tune that. I found, I don't know if it's a Concorde thing, but when I engage Vorlock, it doesn't always engage until you're right on top of it. Last time I tested it, went straight through the localizer. Right, localizer's there, so let's try it now. Let's go Vorlock. It's engaged, perfect. Runway heading, we can now set 091. And as soon as we get glide slope alive, I'm going to lower the gear. And then we'll bug our final approach speed, which is 201 knots. Yes, thanks, members. Literally wrote it in big letters, gear. Right, localizer captured. And we're approaching 10 miles away, with no DME, unfortunately, associated with this ILS. Right, glide slope, it looks like it's now coming alive. It is, so we'll drop the gear. Gonna bug our final approach speed, 201 knots. Actually, you know what, it's quite a strong headwind here, isn't it? Yeah, 21 knot headwind, so what I'm going to do is add 10 to VREF. 196, we're going to fly 206 knots. So glide slope's coming alive. Oh, I did this on the test sector. It doesn't always take glide slope. Don't know why. So I'm going to go just to 1,000 feet. Engage vertical speed here. Come down manually initially because it doesn't always capture it. I don't know why. No, it hasn't captured it. Look, vertical speed. So I'm going to use vertical speed and manually descend on the ILS. It did this on the test sector. I don't know why. I'm sure I'm missing something here. But I'm going to use the vertical speed to kind of stay on the ILS manually. I'll try one more time.
Fuel status 20 tons.
That's fine. That's enough for a go around. So we'll do a little bit of a landing checklist. Gears down, 4 green, visors fully down. Final approach speed is set, 206 knots, taking count into the wind. Try and get onto the glide slope one more time. Push glide. Yeah, it's just not taking it. It's just not taking it. Don't know why. It's going below the glide slope now. I would love to know afterwards. Someone leave me in the comment section why glide's not working. Why it won't take it. Land, I think it's the auto land. I'm going to disconnect now anyway, because it's more fun. Right, disconnecting.
Autopilot off.
Autopilot. Auto throttle off my airplane. Right, going to maintain around 206 knots. I've still got the localizer and glide slope bars. Going to turn the flight director off as well, because it's not actually giving me correct guidance. What I'll do is purely visually. Oh, speed's getting a bit high here. 215 knots, a bit more thrust off there. 3 whites. Small changes now. Gears definitely down and locked. Looking good. Yeah, let's check the gear. Look, it is down. Look.
800 feet.
Right, ooh, speed's a bit low. 200 knots, still above VREF though. Had a bit of thrust here.
400.
Off centre line though. Oh, come on. 3 whites. Keep it coming down.
300.
There's minimums. Speed's a little bit high.
200 feet.
Small changes now. A little bit of a crosswind as well.
100 feet.
Checked. Right, close the thrust.
40. 20.
Come on.
Contact.
Beautiful. Acceptable. I'll take it. I know it's not a butter.
Deployed.
We're down. No brakes until 100 knots as well. So we've got full reversers now. Lower the nose gently. Wait till 100 knots so we can start braking manually. I don't even think we need to. Long enough runway here. 100 knots. Start adding a little bit of brakes. We'll make the next exit. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Barbados. Another successful Concorde flight. When I say another, it's only the second one we've ever done. Right, idle reverse, buckets are stowed. And we'll take the next left. Absolutely awesome. Oh! The window just opened. That wasn't me. Oh, cool. Oh, very, very, very cool. I'm so happy the window opened. Oh, mega, mega, mega. Very cool. Right, alerts off. Remember, the nose wheel's a little bit behind us, which is why I'm overshooting. I've got lights blinking galore. Yeah, I don't know why glide didn't engage. Did that on the test sector. I turned it off and on, and it did seem to work. Yeah, landing rate I'm very happy with, guys. It is not easy landing this at all, really. It's such a challenge, and I'm quite happy with that one. It was close to being the one above, which I can't remember what it is. But, yeah, nice one. What a flight. How long was that? We were airborne at, what was it, at 16:55, so that was just 2 hours, 5 minutes, the flight time from New York to Barbados. Very, very cool. Right, let's go find somewhere to park. This is just the default X-plane scenery, guys. Very happy with how the procedural kind of turns work, though. That was all very well. All worked very well. I thought it was going to be a kind of like not adequate. It looked like it was good. It was one of the best approaches I did, but I just disconnected and flew manually in the last bit. Right, how are we going to park here? I never actually thought about that. Next step. I think we'll go nose in at the end here. Just there, right outside the kind of main terminal. Right, let's have a look at a little bit of a clean up here. After landing checklist, so taxi, turn off as required, reverses off, fuel trim to ground.
Fuel trim to
There we are.
ground.
Crest ground power unit, parking brakes closed. I think they shut down 2 engines as well on the taxiing. Which engines is it? Is it 1 and 4 or 2 and 3? I can't remember. We'll do that shortly. Plenty of fuel at 18 tons, still burning, what was that, 4 tons an hour. But we could have gotten away with taking a little bit less. Very cool. Yeah, nice for actually custom default scenery. Yeah, someone spruced it up a little bit. 1 and 4 says Vicaris. I'll take your advice. There we are. 1 and 4 shut down. We'll take this stand here. And we'll go outside when we turn the next engines off as well, so it sounds really cool. Visor, I guess, stays to 5 on the taxi and then retracts when you get on the stand. Very cool. So we'll turn off the taxi lights here. Oh no, they're already off. No, oh my god, what am I doing? Retract. Ugh. There we are, finally got it there. And I think that'll do for parking. Superb. Right, parking brake is set. So I guess at some point here, the ground crew will connect the ground power. I won't do that for the replay, otherwise, otherwise I'm just going to shut the engines down here. Thank you very much, Paul Emerson, for the £7. That's very, very kind of you.
Congrats on 70k, boss. Awesome stream again.
Oh, thank you so much, Paul Emerson. I'm just going to jump outside. Thank you, Paul, for your £7 donation. 70k, I don't know if you can hear myself. That's a stream. Thank you so much. I'm very happy with how that flight went. Very happy. And you jump back into it with easier. It is awesome. And it's just nicely small down there. Very cool. Right, so a little bit of a clean up. So I have no idea about the kind of taxi and flow here.
40,
Shut down checklist, park brake closed, electric hydraulic
20,
pumps can come off now.
10.
Thank you lot, Pete. Natural flops, oh no.
Thanks, Captain. Made it in time for the landing. Look forward to the 70k special.
Thank you very much, Pete. Notch of Flaps for your donation. They're very, very kind. Unbelievable. Thank you very much, Pete, for your membership and continued support. That's very, very kind. Right, what else did it tell me to do here? We've done that. Engines checked. Engine feed pumps can come off. Doing a little bit of the checklist here. Engine feed pumps off.
50, 40,
Thanks
30,
a lot, Kid Bear, for
20,
the €5.
10.
That's very kind, sir. Very, very kind. Thank you, guys.
Amazing landing. And congrats on 70k birthday cake. Thank you and best wishes for whole FD2S house hard.
Oh, thank you very much, Kid Bear, for the €5 as well. Another member as well coming with a donation. Very, very kind. And thank you for your very kind wishes for everyone here. Flotch of Nabs. Thanks, Aaron Hastings. That's brilliant. Anti-collision light can come off. And I think... already done that one there. Nav lights off. That's the full shutdown checklist there. So what I'm going to do is... we'll jump off to the nice external view then. Have a look at some of the comments. I turn these lights off. Oh, it's the turn off lights. There we go. There she is. Look, sat on stands, all in one piece, not in several pieces, which is a good sign. Let's have a look here. Yeah, very happy with that approach. Landing was not a butter. It's so difficult to land this aircraft though in real life and in a desktop simulator even more so. So pretty happy with that. Really nice flight. 2 hours 10 minutes it was when I think. That US operator does it in, was it 4 hours 20 or something? So we halved the time essentially. Very, very cool. Supersonic butter, pretty much Pierre. We'll call it a butter for supersonic aircraft. Very good. Andy said, wasn't me, not my fault. How many times did I say that? Probably a few times there. Jane says, nose to 5 degrees for taxi. Very cool. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Well, guys, that's the end of the live stream today. Thoroughly enjoyable. I hope you enjoyed the Concorde experience in the Colimata Concorde. The devs are really great guys. I'm in their Discord. When I first streamed, I asked them a few questions. They're very responsive. They're keeping it up to date as well, and it is on sale now, so it's $50, so it's probably worthwhile getting if you want to replicate the Concorde experience. Is everything replicated entirely to the real aircraft? No, but it replicates the flight, certainly the supersonic experience, and I'm doing things I think as close as the real guys would have been doing it as well, and I love flying it, and I will not leave it as long as we have until we fly again, especially as I've just learned to get everything there. Replay, absolutely we're going to be doing a replay, ladies and gentlemen. So guys, let's turn the music down here and cue the good old funky replay music. Here we go. There we are. So, thanks again, X-Plane 11 for not crashing. I'm running 1152 as well, guys, the latest version, so probably worthwhile doing. Right, let's actually have a look at what it looked like here from the threshold of the runway. So, slight issue with the glide slope, never actually captured it. I don't know why selected gliding did the intercept, I have no idea. But we just went it manually using VS, that worked well. Oh, is the nose up on the replay? Oh no, that's really annoying. Guys, there's no way I'm doing the replay with the nose in that position. Gotta have it down. That's why I don't often do the full shutdown flows, because all the stuff turns off. Nice funky replay, nose visor extension music. Right, hopefully that'll work. We'll soon find out. That's better. Gotta have the nose down, guys. That's better. There's the troop snoot. So a little bit of a crosswind there. I don't think I made much of a crosswind correction. Oh, I don't know if there's any sounds on the replays going. Yeah, fortunately not. Last time. Anyway, there's the flare. Held the attitude, and then it just settled down quite nicely. It bounced as well. Yeah, that's X-Plane's ground effect. The aircraft has such a tendency to want to fly. No crossing correction really, but I really don't mind the centre. Just bang on the centre line. Quite happy with that. Have a look on YouTube. Look at Concorde landing at Leeds, and have a look at that landing rate. That was probably 1,000 feet per minute. Yeah, nice. Boop. Little bounce though, and there's the buckets closing, and she settled down. You can hear it in this view though, on shift 2, which is pretty good. Let me just put it back. It sounds a bit broken, it's not designed for replay, I don't think. big request from Colimata, make the sounds work on the replay. Got a tower view. We do. That's going to be a cool one. So here's the view from the tower. Look at the headwind. You see its windsock's pretty much vertical there. There's the flare. Down on the mains. Little bounce. Buckets deployed. Slowly derotate the nose. Learned from last time, you're not meant to brake until you're below 100 knots. If you brake, it smashes that nose down. And the reverses are very effective at slowing the aircraft down. Very, very nice. But unfortunately, there's no cabin view for the replay because it kills the FPS and there's no sound. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do what I did last time. I'll put you in like a cockpit GoPro camera view for the approach and landing, which looks pretty cool. But also look at the gauges, look at the fuel increasing, which is pretty cool. Guys, that's the end of the Concorde Flight Deck Sim live stream. It was nothing special today, just a Concorde stream, but we did surpass the awesome achievement of reaching 70,000 subscribers. So I'd like to take this time to thank each one of you for subscribing to stay up to date with the content and reaching that landmark figure. To celebrate that, we'll be doing a special 70k special stream in the next week or two, probably within a week or so, where we'll do a stream purely for a good cause. I'll not accept any personal donations. I'll set up a page on the Just Giving page. We'll link it. And the great thing is every donation that comes through pings through on the alert box so we can see everyone that's donated. We'll read those during the stream. It'll be something quite memorable, I'm sure. It'll be some ridiculously difficult flights I need to achieve. But if you have anything or any ideas, I'd love to hear them. I've got a few myself, but if you want to see something in particular, let me know. As ever, thanks to everyone that donated and to all the members for the continued support. Stay safe in these continued crazy times, and we'll see you all for another Flight Deck Sim live stream very soon. See you soon.
500 feet. 400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 20. Contact. Reverser deployed. Reverser retracted.